Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, welcome to the Liberian Perspective. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as it uploads to YouTube. Hey, family, guess what? I got to go ahead and get into this live stream right now. We got to talk about Coach Prime smelling blood. That's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. We bounce to work. It's time to cook. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to TLP Live at Noon with your man, your host, Harry Business. That's right. We about to have a good show today, guys. I have a great lineup for you today. Okay, great topics. But guess what? It's free for all Friday. I'm still gonna set up the topic because we need something to talk about. But whatever you guys want to talk about, we're gonna talk about today because there's always a lot to talk about. All right. There's always drama surrounding the Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, America's football team. You understand what I'm saying? Poke. Anyways, like I said, welcome to the show. We have a great lineup for you today. The past couple of days, we've been talking about Coach Prime's mandate or his expectations of going to the Pac, going to the Big 12 and making that 12-team playoff. We've exhausted that conversation. If y'all want to bring it up today, you can. All right? But today, I'm going to be talking about the fact that I think that Coach Prime smells blood. And that Coach Prime is so competitive. Coach Prime is so competitive that he ain't leaving nothing to chance this time around. And I'm starting to see things happen, pieces moving around that's giving me the indication that Coach Prime smells blood and he wants to take it all. The Big 12 is wide open. That's where we're going. That's our former home, but now it's going to become our new home again. It's wide open. There's not no murderous row. Ain't no teams that are like just dominating all over the place. I think it's anybody's ball game. Whoever wants it can take it. Something's telling me that Coach Prime knows that, and he smells blood. And boy, what he's doing in the transfer portal, oh my goodness. If you haven't paid attention, if you're not paying attention right now on what Coach Prime is doing, you don't understand football, and you don't understand that Coach Prime smells blood and he wants to take it all. We're going to talk about that all. We're going to talk about that and more, right? As I fumble over my words, we're going to talk about that and more on today's show. So welcome. Let me say hello to my guests who are joining me today. It's Friday. It's somebody's payday, okay? Right now, it is 12:04 on the East Coast. That's in New York City, all right? And that means that it is now, that means that is 9:04 on the West Coast. So welcome to the show. We about to go in. Yo. Samuel Flowers, what up with you? Flock, what up? Hey, Flock, are we calling you Flocka or we calling you Flock? Because I think me and Tim, we've been like Flocka. Are you Waka Flocka or you just Flock? What you want, man? Let me know. Hey, man, look above your head. Right over here, somewhere right here is on left and right. Right over here, you will see the email to call into the show. Today's going to be wild. We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about, so make sure to email me. If you have been calling into the show, you're a regular, you already know the email. Just don't use the last link that I sent you. Email me, say, Harry, put me on. And then I will send you a link to the show, and you can come on to the show. But that's hot tips for TLP Sports at gmail.com. Copy it down. If you don't call in today, you might want to call in next week, okay? It is Monday through Friday, starting at the same time, so you can't forget. Copy the email down, copy and paste it, do something to it. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you're ready to call into the show, when you're brave enough, especially the haters or the detractors, those people who don't like my hat, who don't like the way I look, if you want to come on and battle me about any topic, you can come on in and I will let you in. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. Hot tips for TLPsports at gmail.com. Let's go ahead and start the show today. But you know what? Let me say hello to my guest. Welcome, everybody. Tim Smith in the building. Hey, baby. Antonio McKinney's in the building. What up with you? X-Man from South Africa's in the building. Okay. Waka Flocka Flame. Yes, sir. Yo, Flock, what up? Patrick Williams said, what up? Harry B. Flip alert. There's a flip alert. Flock is ready, man. All right. Flock, what do you want us to call you, man? You want us to call you Flock or Flocka? Let us know, man. Come on, man. You're now a resident. I want to call you what you want me to call you, okay? KMS, come on, man. You're a resident. Stop playing with me. Salty Tennessee. What up, everybody? We got a lot of people. Watching today. Some people are not going to say who they are. It could be sometimes it's people who are on the team. People are watching us. We're growing. We're becoming popular. People are starting to get to know this show because we talk about the nitty-gritty. We leave nothing to chance. We talk about everything, the good, the ugly, and everything in between. We are Colorado fans. For the most part, a lot of us here are Colorado fans. I, the host, Harry B, is a Colorado fan. I'm number one Deion Sanders fan, and then I'm a bandwagon buff right here. If you want this shirt right here, that's bandwagonbuffs.com. You can get your bandwagon buff shirt. If you're not, so you know what I'm saying. All right. Wait, he said Flock or Flocko. Bro, we're going to call you Flocka. Stop playing with me, man. Big Daddy 6. We calling him Flocka, man. You Flocka to us. Not to disrespect the fact that you want to be called Flocko. Come on, man. Erica, what up with you? Patrick Williams, what up with you? What up with you, Flocka? Stop playing with me, Flocka. Trying to switch up on us. We already called you Flocka, so that's it. You're not getting away from that. Oh, man, we got a good show, and we're going to start off. Uh-oh, what is that? What is this? Stop playing with me. What is this in the Philippines via Tampa? Here's some pesos for the plate. Whoa. Tampa Bong, man. God bless you, man. Man, I really appreciate you, man, doing that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat all the way from the Philippines, man. I'm telling you, yo. Patrick Williams says either Jaquan McCord or Boo Carter. What you're hearing out there? Let's start the updates, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start the email right now, guys. I'm going ahead and starting the email right now because this is Friday. A lot of you guys are off, or at least you know this is the Friday that you can play around with your job because you know this Friday they can't fire you. It's payday. You like, go ahead, fire me if you about that life, fire me. All right. So, oh my gosh, don't lose your job, okay? God won't like that. Do not lose your job. But I know a lot of y'all got more leverage on Fridays. All right. Hey, Tampa Bong, I appreciate the super chat, the pesos. Thank you so much. How much is 125 in pesos? Is that like, how do you flip that? How much is that? I see P 125. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I can't the conversion, I don't know. GT Massive, what up with you? Welcome to the show, guys. As you can hear, I got my radio voice on today because you know what I'm saying? I just like my radio voice for some reason. Phil So Real, peace and blessings. Peter Investor M is in the building, baby. Carolina boy, our resident detractor is here. Carolina boy, man. And listen, we got Damon, who's our resident detractor. He comes on the show and he talks. Carolina boy's too scared, man. You whoop chicken. Carolina boy's chicken. Whoop. You don't want to call in because you can't handle this heat. You can't handle the heat, boy. Call in Carolina boy if you about that life. Carolina boy don't want none of this. Can't be what up with you. Carolina boy scared. Peter Investor said, I thank you for the super chat, man. Y'all know I do this. Yo, I got $7. I got $7 from Bong. So that's the conversion. The Tampa Bong give me $7 or $2 USD. Not much, but hey, man. $2 works for me. I do this for a living, man. So anything works, anything helps me. I want you guys to know. I also have my whatever that little green sign. That's my Cash app. You know what I'm saying? When you live and you're excited, you kind of forget things every now and then. So please forgive me. That's my Cash app is right on your screen, right at the bottom of your screen, right next to my name, guys. All right, it's right there. You can bless me if you want to bless me. But I do this for a living, guys. Big Daddy 6, what up with you? Man, let's get the show started. You guys are excited. Y'all ready to go. It's Friday, man. Let's go. Let's go. We starting off right away. Let's go. Oh, I already sent the email. So if you're ready to rock and roll, man, we about to rocks and rolls. Okay. All right, let's go. Let me get the link up, okay? Let me get the link up. If you're new to the show, this is how we start, okay? I know you're like, yo, Harry B, I gotta go back to work. So say what you're gonna say. No. It's Friday. This is the live show. We have a lot of fun. Sometimes we don't get going until like later on when my guests come on and we start going crazy. So if you're thinking like something crazy about to happen just right now, we set up the show. We give you an overview of what's going on around the Buffs, and then we dive into the show and we get crazy. I mean, we make fun of each other. We say a lot of crazy stuff, but it's all good. You can even make fun of me because I make fun of me. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. People say the running joke is Harry don't know anything about football. And then you got to put like a couple of clown emojis and laughing emojis. That's the running joke. All right. So if you want to say Harry don't know anything about football, go ahead, poke fun at me. I'm one of the only guys that can take the jokes. You understand what I'm saying? Flocka's on the line. Give me a second, Flocka. Let me set this up. Let's go ahead and start this right here. All right. Let's go ahead and start with this right here. All right. What do you say? Well Off Media says they got a video up says, is Shador's back really fractured? You know how Well Off Media they be doing. Anyway, we're gonna come to that later, okay? We're gonna come to that later. But let's go ahead and start with this right here. Shador says what? Shador says, don't worry, a couple more pieces on the offensive side is coming. Boy, that boy's about to be a marketing genius like his dad. Man, who else is coming? Have you guys out there, have you heard anything? I obviously replied. I obviously went in there and I replied. I said, we go live in 15 minutes, about to light it up today. We're talking about this and more. Join us, you know what I'm saying? So Shador says, don't worry, man. A couple more pieces on the offensive side is coming. Sheesh. Boy. Who's coming? All right. So who else is coming? But let's go ahead and start with this right here. Let's go ahead and start out with this right here. All right. We have 4-star wide receiver Will Shepherd. That is the latest news, guys. Will Shepherd via Vanderbilt. He is 6'3", 200 pounds. He entered the transfer portal on December 4th and committed to Colorado on December 14th. That was like yesterday, okay? December 14th. Visiting the Champions Center this week, the weekend prior. Shepherd was a 2023 star recruit out of Mandeville, LA, and committed to the Vanderbilt Commodores. Shepherd has been one of the most productive and proven wide receivers in the SEC over the last 2 seasons. He started all 12 games in 2023 and led Vanderbilt in all major receiving categories with 47 receptions for 684 yards and 8 touchdowns. He is tied for third in Vanderbilt history with 21 career receiving touchdowns and is the 8th receiver in Vanderbilt history to eclipse 2,000 career receiving yards. 3-star O-line, offensive lineman Matthew Bedford via Indiana. Guys, let me just give it to you straight. If you got to go, you get this information right away, so I don't waste your time, okay? 6'6", 314 pounds. You know the offensive line is right now what do you call it? The elephant in the room. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Entered the transfer portal on November 27th and committed to Colorado on December 12th after visiting the Champions Center the week prior. Bedford was a 2019 3-star recruit out of Cordova, Tennessee, and committed to the Indiana Hoosiers. He has started 40 games in his career and started 11 out of 12 games for the Hoosiers in 2023. He has played all over the offensive line with multiple starts at left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. All right. The rest of these people we know. That is the update that I currently have. If you have anything else, you can go ahead and share that with the chat, and we will go ahead and share that on the screen. But let me go ahead and bring my guests on. Let me not hold him. All right. Oh my gosh, I got another one. That's $10 USD from from Temple Bong in the Philippines. Oh man, this is more like you $10 USD. Bless you. I'll catch the relay. It's late over here. Catch up on keep up the good work. Everybody say thank you, Temple Bong, for me. Or somebody say, please thank you, Temple Bong. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all, in the Philippines, we got South Africa. We got the Philippines watching the show. We're worldwide. This show, this is the show that's worldwide, and everybody is watching from all over the world. Australia, South Africa, Temple Bong. We got X-Men from South Africa. We got Temple Bong from the Philippines. Giving a super chat. Man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Man, we're growing every single day. Hey, Flocka, what up with you, homie? Welcome back to the show, man. You're original now. You're resident. What up with you, homie?
What up, Harry? How you doing?
All is well, man. I got the headphones on today so I can hear you clearly, man. Rudy Wright, how you doing today? Erica Ransom, I think I already said hello, but if I didn't, hello again. Hey, Flocka, how you doing today? How's your day, man?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, all is well. I feel some kind of way today, man. I feel like Coach Prime smells blood. I'm riding y'all wave today, man. I feel like y'all been bigging him, but y'all won't get off this Coach Prime train trying to big this guy up. But sometimes I don't believe, but today I'm in a believing mood. I'm in a let's hype this guy up. I feel like he smells blood, and the moves he's making is indicative of the kind of blood that he smells. What says you about that, man? What says you about that? What do you feel about those two guys I just talked about?
Well, Will Shepherd.
We got Will Shepherd. We got Bedford and Shepherd, right?
Oh yeah. I feel great about those guys. Will Shepherd is a SEC talent, and he's gonna bring a lot to Colorado, especially with Weaver leaving. He can fill right in. I think he's bigger, stronger. He could even be faster. So yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. And Bedford, of course, that O-line. Yeah, we straightened up that in them trenches. All the winning teams got big guys and good guys in them trenches. So yeah, we right now, as of right now, we definitely better than this past season.
Oh, we show that. Listen, is Zay going to the NFL or is he just graduating and saying I'm out?
I think he goes to the NFL, man. Dude's talented.
He ain't said nothing yet, right?
Nah, he didn't say anything yet. But I think he goes to the NFL. He's talented. He could play. I like him. He was probably one of our most consistent wide receivers. Like every time I seen the ball go to him, I'm like, yeah, he's coming down with that.
And for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, we're using nicknames because we are the constituents of Coach Prime. So Zay is Xavier Weaver. He was one of our most productive wide receivers this year. Xavier Weaver. What was his number? Let me see if I can remember.
Number 10. Number 10.
Xavier Weaver was number 10 on the Colorado Buffaloes. He's a senior. He's graduated. Was he a junior or a senior? He was a senior, right?
I think he was a senior. Yeah, I think he was a senior.
Yeah, I think he was a senior. He's graduating and he's moving on. And he's either going to step into that 2024 NFL draft and he's going to move on with his life. But yes, he did say in one of the well-loved media videos that he was going to be, you know what I'm saying, that he was a senior. He had 1 year of eligibility. So he's probably going to be moving on. Who knows? Maybe we haven't heard anything about him jumping into that transfer portal. Maybe he graduates, become a grad transfer or become a grad player. And maybe he does a year or two with Coach Prime and see what happens. You never know.
Yeah.
That may be a situation. But as Flocka said, you're gonna be the resident Flocka, okay? Just deal with it, okay, bro?
Yeah.
So listen, as he said, listen, man, we're definitely better than last year. But what does better mean? Being better than last year could mean a lot of things. Does that mean we score more touchdowns? Does that mean that we can now compete with more?
Yeah, we score more touchdowns. We compete better. We grab more wins. That's what that means. It's a lot of close games we had last year. That's the thing they don't talk about. We got 8 losses, but it's a lot of close games we had.
So those close games, what we're looking at, the things, the pieces that we're bringing, those close games might flip to our side. That's what it seems like. That's what it feels like you're saying, especially with KMS over here talking about Harry Sanders if he's been doubting Prime low key. Man, I'm a low key hater.
All it takes is a few plays.
All it
takes is a few plays to go right.
But who's gonna make those plays? Who's gonna make these plays that we're talking about?
We We dang near got too many guys that can make the plays now.
Oh, so D
You
Well is
know,
saying that Zay was already a grad transfer, so that's it for him then.
okay. Yeah, so
Okay, so if
hey,
he
I hope
was
to watch him
already,
on Sunday then. I hope to watch him on future Sundays then, man. Good
he
dude.
definitely have the
Dog.
skill. So I would say be on somebody's practice team. Definitely.
I think he could play on somebody's roster. He's a dog.
He is a
He's a
dog.
dog.
I can't say the roster because there's a lot of strong wide receivers. You know, wide receivers,
Nah,
they
there's a
come a
lot of
dime a
strong
dozen,
wide
right?
receivers. It is a lot of
Yeah.
strong wide receivers. I
There's a
think he's a
lot of
strong one
strong.
too, though.
Yeah, he's good. I would say he's good. But again, wide receivers come a dime a dozen, and then you always look at those. You always got tape on the dominant teams, right? So that's when I'm looking at the
Yeah.
NFL draft. I'm looking at something where you're going into a pool of all of the teams. You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be a lot of people with tape, but he did pretty good. I would say he made his case. He definitely
And
made
he
his
has
case this year.
and he has a good attitude too. That's one thing. Like a lot of receivers is usually known as prima donnas and stuff like that, divas. He doesn't even have he doesn't have that attitude. So I think that's a plus also. And I'm sure Coach Prime put in that good word for him too. He got a lot of NFL connections.
Mm. So I think that's the key. That's the key spot. I think that's like the X factor. Most people don't understand the X factor, but I think the X factor is the fact that you have Coach Prime. Coach Prime doesn't just know former players. Coach Prime knows owners. And when you know owners and when you're cool with owners and broadcasters, these are the people that makes the difference because they're always gonna. They know skill is important, and they evaluate skill at these combines, but they understand relationship. People don't know. People don't. People don't understand that half of this game is relationship. They're after they evaluate your skill, they're going to call for references, and depending on your references, I mean, I don't know if you guys seen what was it Groot? What's his name? Gruden that did those quarterback interviews. And
John Gruden.
John Gruden, right? He was the one that was doing those quarterback interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you get references, people that sit you down, and then you know what I'm saying, they talk to you to try to get where your head is at. Because this game, they don't want to learn something down the road about you, about your attitude, about what you can do and how you can poison their locker room. So relationship plays a very, very important part where somebody can actually co-sign your character. And when you get somebody like Coach Prime with character co-signing your character, it's a done deal, bro. Most people don't understand that, but it's very important that you understand about character and you know, and that decision that you made to either transfer out or to transfer in. You'll see how important that was when it comes time to that for that NFL draft. You'll see how important Coach Prime is.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the bust. Let's talk more about the bust. Coach Prime smells blood, like I said. This show is about the fact that I see Coach Prime smelling blood. The Big 12 is wide open. It's so wide open. Now, I know some people might think that I'm trying to hate. I'm not trying to hate. I'm trying to be realistic about the opportunities that we have. I'm trying to give the base something real to look forward to. Something real. It's got to be real. If you just look at the hype, we can get caught up in the hype again and forget about the fact that other teams are doing exactly what we're doing. But something that I see that's happening is that we are not just recruiting just players. We're not just getting pieces. We are dominating the transfer portal. Coach Prime and his Buffaloes are dominating the transfer portal. And for those of you who don't know what dominating the transfer portal looks like, they rank the players that are in the transfer portal, and then that's how they evaluate how you are doing in the transfer portal. So Coach Prime, for the second year, is dominating again in the transfer portal. Now, they came very close, but there were key pieces that were missing, and I think Coach Prime is filling that hole. What says you on that, man?
Yeah, he's definitely filling the gaps up, the trenches. That's what we lacked last year. So he's filling the needs up. He's definitely filling the needs up and adding more to our best strengths also.
Say that again, please.
I said he's filling our needs up. He's filling holes up, and on top of that, And on top of that, he's filling our strengths also. He still is adding on to our strengths.
So one of our biggest strengths is the fact that our passing game, Shador Sanders, if he's well, if
Yep.
he's healthy, he is one of the
Yep.
most dynamic quarterbacks, all right, in college
Mm-hmm.
football. In 2023, he was amongst the Heisman hopefuls. He was there until they started figuring out our weaknesses. And then now that a lot of those Heisman guys are leaving or moving on to the NFL or just moving on because they ain't got no more eligibility. You can't stay in college forever. Some of those guys was
Yep.
in there forever. So the fact that a lot of those guys are moving on, now Shador steps into the number 5 spot. I think he's in the number 1 spot where he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in college football. We're not talking
I
about
think
the
I
Big
think
12
I
or
think
just
I,
in his conference.
I think he's the top quarterback. I think he's going to be the top quarterback.
And that's one point that you and I can definitely agree on, that he's one of the top quarterbacks in college football. He's going to be the top quarterback in college football. I don't even think that it's going to be close because Coach Prime is taking it personal. I mean, if you see the pieces that he's getting, he's taking it personal. And what I like and what I've said on the last couple of shows is the fact that the guys that are coming in, they know the assignment. It's very important to know the assignment. I think a lot of the young men that were here, they really didn't understand the assignment. But now that we have 1 year under our belt, we have 1 season under our belt now, the assignment became very clear. And it's one thing to just play the game, but it's another thing to come in and say, I want to protect Shador. It's another thing
Don't
to
touch two.
Don't touch two. Like when you come in and you say, I'm here to protect Shador, it just feels different. It hits different. Because then it becomes like that thing where you're like, I know my job. How many of us do jobs that we don't really know what the employer wants from us, and we're just kind of floating, just trying to make sure that our check is right. But when you really know that you're important, like your job, I'm putting you in the game. Starter, or coming into the game or switching out for somebody else that's coming into the game. When you come into that game, you're going in there knowing you got one thing to do. I just got to make sure that guy never hits my quarterback. And if he does, I might be in trouble. Somebody might take my place. And I don't want nobody to take my place. Let's bring on Phil So Real. Phil So Real got some things to say. He wants to add his voice to the conversation. Hey, Phil, what up with you? Thanks for joining the show.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Phil, what up? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
We are well. I say Coach Prime smells blood. What do you think about that?
Listen, man. Right now, I think the biggest thing that Colorado needs, because I'm not gonna say we, because I'm not a bandwagon buff.
That's fine.
I want to see Dion do well, but I can't sit here and say I'm a bandwagon buff. But I think right now the main focus needs to be the defense. We've seen their offense can put up points. We've seen that he can recruit the skill players. But right now, my main focus would be the defensive line and getting those linebackers together. So until I really see what he's doing in the transfer portal with those defensive linemen and linebackers, I can't really say too much for what the season is going to be.
Okay, so what team were you rooting for? Like, do you root for Colorado or not?
I don't root against Colorado. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Yeah, you a football fan.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. I've always wanted to be a high school football coach. I've always followed coaches.
Do me a favor and come closer to your mic, because you're fading out a little bit from me.
Okay, my bad. Nah, so my favorite coach is Nick Saban. So I follow Bama more than I follow anybody else. But any black coach that's out there in the league, I try to keep up with them. So I follow, Syracuse, not Washington. I'm sorry, Michigan State. I followed Colorado when they had black coaches in the past. So that's kind of how I am.
All right, so you're following the black line. I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so if you would be a Democrat if I ain't trying to.
Hey, no comment.
You're voting black on the ballot. You're voting black. It doesn't matter.
No, I'm like Issa Rae. She
the
said
brothers.
I'm rooting for anybody black. I'm rooting for everybody
I'm rooting
black.
for anybody black. I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that at all.
I ain't mad at that at all.
All right, so tell me where you see difficulties at on that Colorado schedule. Let me put it up for you, but tell me where you see difficulties at since we got you here, and you're going to be a voice of reason, and you're not biased to Colorado. Tell me where you see difficulties at, and the schedule's on your screen.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of talked about this all week in the chat. I think, Kansas State, they're going to be one of the top teams in the conference next year. You definitely got to look at Arizona and their trajectory. They're moving up in the right direction. Utah, they're going to have their 7-year senior quarterback coming back next year. So
that guy's 7 years.
Yeah, he's been in college for 7 years.
Cam Rising. Yeah, Cam Rising been there for a while.
He had a couple of knee injuries, right? I think.
Yeah, a couple big injuries.
Yeah, so that's going to be difficult. We don't know what Nebraska's going to look like with Dylan Raiola if he's going to flip from Georgia. But I would definitely say Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Utah, and Arizona are probably going to be the toughest opponents. But
you don't think Kansas is difficult?
I'm sorry. You know what? I think Kansas. I think Kansas is going to be a little bit difficult, but I think they're going to take a step back this year.
You think so? They had a young second string starting last year. He did pretty good. He probably end up being the starter this year, if anything.
Yeah,
they beat Oklahoma with him.
Yeah, I think he'll start this year, but I think Oklahoma, they got a little bit too happy with that win against Texas, so they kind of fell off towards the end of the season. But I still think they'll be difficult. But I think the game that nobody's paying that much attention to is North Dakota State. Yes,
everybody keeps saying that. Everybody keeps saying that.
No, you got to say it because some people will fall asleep because they're an FCS team. Listen, that's why you got to keep iterating that they're tougher than we think.
They're playing tomorrow.
It's a trap game. Game.
They're playing in their semifinal game tomorrow at about 4:00, I think, on ESPN2. If y'all can watch them, please take a look at them because their offensive line is like that. It's like that. Trust me.
Yo, hey, Buff Nation, you hear it. If anybody got connection to Coach Prime, make sure you let them know North Dakota is not a team to play around with. They're a trap game. And they're gonna...
hey, Harry, you wanna fact check if those twins committed? I'm seeing it in the comments.
You said the twins. Which twins?
The Kentucky twins or Kentucky brothers.
If they committed to who?
To us, the linebacker and the quarterback.
Wait.
I see a lot. I see a lot of people talking about it in the chat.
I did not know that we were trying to get the Kentucky twins to come to Colorado.
Yeah, they came on a visit and all that. Of course, we was trying.
No, that's on the list. I got that on the list somewhere. That there was somebody. It was a QB and somebody else that we're thinking about.
And the linebacker, there's brothers. 6'5" linebacker. The Wade twins, Keaton Wade and Destin Wade. You want to check if they committed to us?
No, they haven't yet. They haven't committed to us yet.
You sure? The whole chat looked like they're going a little crazy, like they committed to us.
Oh, that could be breaking news because right now we live, and the only information that I got is that they're visiting. They're going to be visiting this year. They're going to be visiting this weekend. That's the only information that I got so far, that they're on the visitors list for this weekend. I don't know that they have committed unless somebody can update us and let us know if that's.
Yo, I'm looking right now. I'm looking online and I don't see where it says they've committed yet. So maybe this is just some buzz going around, but nothing official right now.
Yeah, I think we know that they're okay. Y'all seeing your screen right now?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, so this one is from No Score Zone. I was going to put this up later, but I think that since we're talking about it now, so this is the list that we got that's going to be visiting this weekend. This is a shout out to No Score Zone on Twitter.
Oh no, they committed. I'm on the kid's Instagram. The quarterback. He committed.
Committed?
Yeah, the brothers committed.
So
Destin
Wade.
Taylor? Destin Wade and Keaton Wade. They already visited us. This is the upcoming visit list. They already visited us.
Oh, word?
So we got the quarterback and the linebacker.
So hold up. So the quarterback is an old guy because Coach Pop said he wanted to get somebody older.
The quarterback the quarterback I think is a sophomore or a redshirt freshman, something like that. I think he's a former 4-star. I went on Instagram. I just went on Instagram and looked at it on his Instagram page. Destin Wade, that's his name. Destin Wade.
Destin Wade on his Instagram page, right?
Yep, he gets committed. So him and his brother wanted to play at the same school, so his brother committed also. I'm pretty sure. Dang.
So we got a linebacker. Do we have any stats on the linebacker?
I heard the linebacker's a beast. I heard he's a beast. 6'5", 250. I heard he's a beast
How do
coming
you
out
spell
of
his
that.
name?
The quarterback is Destin Wade. Destin Wade. Wade.
Yeah, I'm seeing it as well. I just went to his Instagram page and
He committed.
He has committed.
So where is okay? So I'm on his page now, but where do I go? Because I'm kind of new to this.
Just look at his
crap,
pictures.
so.
Just look at his pictures. You'll see his last
Yeah,
post.
like
He committed.
the first picture posted is a video of him making his announcement. I'm sending you the link via email now, Harry.
All right. Give me a second, guys. I'm kind of multitasking here. So if this is breaking news, then this is like we can break it here. We can give the folks what they're looking for, what they came for. You get information while you watch the live, okay?
For me,
yes,
this is big because Colorado needs to find their heir apparent to Shador. You know what I mean? Like they got to figure out who's going to take the team over after Shador leaves because we've seen what those backup quarterbacks can do. So this is big.
Are you guys looking at it? Is this it right here?
Yeah,
we can see that.
That's the QB.
Now, do we know what year this QB is?
I think he's a red shirt freshman or a sophomore.
Let's see.
And what about his? If anybody can put it in the chat, put it in the chat. Like, how did he do last year? Like, why is he important?
Nah, he was a backup last year. I heard he didn't play too many games. He wanted to come somewhere where he could be next up. And then his brother was a starter. The linebacker was a starter. I heard he's a very good linebacker.
All right, so right now you're seeing if you're seeing on your screen, you're seeing Wade.
We had to take both of them though. The father didn't want them split up, so we had to take both of them. We wanted the linebacker though. Yeah, we wanted that linebacker, 6'5", 250, Keaton Wade.
Okay, so the linebacker's coming with him.
Yeah, he's coming with the linebacker. It's better to say that.
Okay,
right.
He's coming with the linebacker.
Yeah. He's coming with Keaton Wade.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Like that. You got one playing better than the other one, so you got the better one.
Yeah. But the quarterback was a 4-star coming out of high school, also. So it's not like he gets a straight scrub.
Okay, so we got backup, and then Ryan Stubb is still there. So they're gonna be fighting for that position. Now, obviously, the transfer portal is still there. So usually when guys see the pieces coming in that's gonna take their place, they start getting a little shook. So hopefully he don't get shook. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he doesn't get shook.
So I'm looking at his stats real quick, and for the linebacker, he had 17 tackles last year and 1 sack last year. So those were 17 stats tackles last year.
And what team is this? I'm sorry, I'm
Kentucky.
trying to. Kentucky. Okay, so he has 17 tackles, 1 sack.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so there you have it, guys. That was a little bit of a breaking. I don't know if that's breaking news, but those guys were scheduled to they came over and they visited, and now they have committed. And I would say that's the Wades. Are they twins? You said
they might be.
The brothers.
They might be
brothers or twins.
I know they're brothers. I know they're brothers for sure. The twin thing, I didn't look too much into it, but I know they're brothers for sure.
All right, so let's go over this list again, guys. So we've been waiting for this defensive thing to happen. This is what we've been waiting for because we've exhausted the offensive guys. We really needed to answer the question about protecting Shador. And as it stands right now, Shador is going to be protected. All right. We started off blazing with Seaton, Jordan Seaton from the DMV. And now we need to answer the question about the defensive line. So if you are looking at your screen, I know a lot of people just listen to the audio, so I'll say it in the audio as well. But we got 6 visiting this weekend. They're going to be in Boulder. They said 14 to 17 December 2023. We got 6'3", 320 pounds. That's going to be the defensive lineman. His name is Chris McClellan. Is that his name? McClellan? Something like that, from Florida. We got 6'3", 308. That's going to be defensive lineman Mike Lockhart from West Virginia. Then we got 5'11", 295-pound defensive lineman. I'm just going to call him Chid. All right, and that sounds like a Nigerian name. Nwanko, Kwanko, whatever. from Houston. All right, 6'5", 265-pound defensive lineman. That's Quincy Wiggins from LSU. 5'11", 195-pound was safety Preston Hodge from Liberty. 6'5", 195-pound wide receiver Chris Brazell from Tulane, and then 6'4", 210-pound wide receiver Cordell Russell from TCU. TCU's coming over. 6'7", 235-pound quarterback Walter Taylor from Vanderbilt. Those are the prospects that we're going to be courting in Boulder this weekend. So that information is out there for you to know. So please keep anything else. Are we seeing anything else in the chat that's going on that we may not be aware of? Somebody please let me know. All right, so Phil So Real. So now let me see. Since you're neutral, all right, you've already made it known that you're not a bandwagon buff. You kind of keep track of what's going on with the buffs or whatever. So I got a question for you.
Hit me.
Give me a grade for Coach Prime as a coach. Be as brutal as you want to be. People's ears are a little bit trained out here around here. They're gonna hate, but if they hate, that's it. But just give me a grade for Coach Prime. You can hear me? Hello?
Who you talking? You talking to me?
Oh, so real. So I'm hearing his okay, his audio is gone. So Phil, if you can either log off and then come back on, we're not hearing you if you're talking. So your audio is gone. But when you come back on, that question is still on the table. We want you to give us a grade for Coach Prime. All right, so he's gonna come back on. All right, so now is there anything else that's going on in the so Art Meredith said B-. I know how you did you ever give me a grade, or do you don't want to log in the grade for Coach Prime Flock?
What as from his start to right now?
From Colorado first year grade.
I mean,
you don't have to log it in if you don't want to.
nah, I ain't afraid to log it in. I'm just trying to you feel me, gauge, because I can't just throw it too high. So
yeah.
We turning a lot of stuff around.
Yeah.
Maybe I can give him I think it's between that C plus B minus ish. I think it's between that, honestly.
Okay, C plus B minus. Art Meredith is on the board with a B minus. We got Samuel Flowers
because at the end of the day, winning is a lot. So when he do come out with that good winning season, then that's when you get the A's and the A pluses and stuff like that. I still think we still got to go out there and go win too. We can get all the talent we want, but we got to go out there and go win too. We can't be playing around.
We got to use the talent effectively. It's not just get the talent and then you take a day off, or you take you know what I'm saying, you take a coaching day off. You got to coach those talent as well, right?
Yeah.
All right. Phil So Real is back. Phil So Real, you want to go ahead?
But we doing good things. We doing good things though.
Just being myself says D minus. All right. So G Kelly 52 says A. 4 and 8 season is a B minus. All right.
G Kelly, when you
G Kelly said
G Kelly, when you started a F, I wish they had an F minus. Then yeah, you could get a C plus out of it, or maybe a B minus out of it. Because that Colorado team the year before was the worst team. I didn't see no Nick Saban start with a 1-win team, or I didn't see none of these Kirby Smart start with a 1-win team. Like, a lot of people didn't start with the worst team, and people don't know Colorado is a known school, but they not the biggest of the biggest. They not.
In recruiting, they don't have a good recruiting base.
It ain't too many good, even as a home base. It's not too many good Colorado football players. So I think he's, from what he's starting from, he's doing decent. Like, he has an uphill battle with it being the location of Colorado. Now, if he would have went 4 and 8, and he took over Bama, then yeah, I'd have been like, oh yeah, that's a D. But he didn't take over Bama.
So Flocka is explaining his grade and where he stands, because he's a fan of Coach Prime. But can anybody else explain their grade? Let's get Phil so real. Let's get your grade, and if you want to explain, you can. If you don't want to give your grade, it's up to you. But go ahead.
No, so I'm gonna go with a C plus or a B minus.
All right, let's hear why.
And one of the reasons why I say that is because the team that played this year is not the team that played last year. The team that played last year, they represented Colorado, right? They had the same CU, they had the same uniforms and all that kind of stuff, but that was not the same team. So I'm only judging this team based off of what I saw this year, not what Colorado looked like before. And I think Deion left a lot of meat on the bone this season. Two things.
Yes, sir.
I think they say, there's a saying that says players win games and coaches lose them. If you look at those close games that Colorado could have won, you look at a few coaching decisions to either, not run the ball effectively, not try to get some swing passes, not try to break up the monotony on the offense. I think that allowed them to lose. I think defense not trying to play underneath with those crossing routes, not having an answer for that. I know Charles Kelly is a great defensive mind. But the fact that they couldn't make those adjustments, I think those coaches lost them a lot of games. If you really look at it, this team could have easily won 8 games if the coaching did a better job. And I say one last thing real quick, and I'll turn it over to the rest of the panel. But I think if Colorado had offensive linemen that
Flock, turn your volume down a little bit.
I think if Colorado had offensive linemen that didn't wear sleeves when it was cold, I think this team would be a lot better.
Wait, what?
He basically saying it was punks. He basically saying it was punks.
That's kind of a joke, but let's be honest with you. When you see them boys, trust me, watch the game tomorrow. When you see them boys from North Dakota, they don't look like you and me, Harry, but they not gonna have no sleeves on. They ain't afraid of that cold. So I think
tough.
Are they white boys?
We're
not afraid to say it.
If you can read between the lines,
they tough.
We need some boys that's not gonna wear long sleeves when it's cold outside. I'll just leave it at that.
Wait a minute, come on now, like what? Protecting yourself?
I'm just keeping it a buck, man. When you got guys that don't wear long sleeves when it's cold outside, they let you know they built different.
So wait, protecting yourself for the cold is not tough?
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
Them old school players didn't have nothing. That's why they look like that.
You got me. You got me.
Blood clots are toughness. Lord have mercy. Okay, well, listen, man. You broke down your. If anybody else in the chat can break down why they're giving what they're giving. I know just me myself is being, he's trolling, so he's saying D for daddy ball. But so we'll just leave that alone. But if you can explain why you're giving the grade you're giving, that'll be nice, so we can understand where you think Coach Prime stood. But as far as I'm concerned, let's see. I would say Coach Prime, my grade goes up and down because the way that I feel, Coach Prime has 2 grades. Coach Prime has an off the field grade and an on the field grade. And if I can merge the two, I'm still saying maybe a C, maybe a solid C, because the off the field he killed it. On the field he didn't kill it so much. And I think Phil Real has given a great explanation of the things the adjustment that he failed to make are most of my reasons why I feel like Coach Prime could have, what I'm saying, he could have got a higher grade, but he didn't make those adjustments, and we just kind of pointed the fingers. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that we kept pointing the fingers at other things, and we really didn't look at Coach Prime deeply, that kind of like, that's why I say a solid C. I would say a solid C for Coach Prime. But what do y'all think? How do we grade Coach Prime amongst other coaches when it comes to recruiting? That's a different field, right? How do we grade Coach Prime amongst the other FBS coaches as far as recruiting is concerned?
Man,
that should change the grade, right?
Yeah, recruiting. We up there at A. We up there at A right now. Like we're up there. We on them top.
Because to set this up a little bit, right? To put it in perspective, recruiting is not a cakewalk. Recruiting is not something where you just say, "Hey, man, my name is such and such," and then they come running to you.
He might dang near be the best recruiter all time. Just off of him getting Travis Hunter to JSU, that's unheard of.
Yeah. All right. So G Kellen has given us an A- for recruiting. All right.
I'm gonna go B minus, and the reason why I say that
Uh-huh.
is because I don't know if y'all remember, but when Deion first took the job with Colorado, he was on the Rich Eisen show doing Radio Road for the Super Bowl last year,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he likes to recruit from the outside in, talking about he liked to recruit skill players first, and then he wanted the big guys on the line. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like had he had the reverse mindset with recruiting, the offensive line would have looked a lot better this year. And I think now that we're seeing him make that change and have more of a focus on the offensive line, I think we can
Mm-hmm.
give him maybe an A minus for the coming year. But for last year, I got to give him a B minus because he didn't value the big hogs up front. And if you look at the teams that are in the Final Four this year and the last years and the previous years, they always
Mm.
had really good offensive and defensive line. So I think that was his one failure on the team. Me
So
personally.
let me ask you a question on a follow up on that. Do you think it's because he was like, because he's a skill position player, right? And he's a
Yeah, I
skill
think
Yeah.
that's some
position,
of it.
like, you know what I'm saying? Is that,
Respect.
do you think like he was blinded? He didn't really think about FBS because he dominated so much
He
at Jackson State with all the skill
yeah.
positions?
I mean,
Yeah,
it's easy to
definitely.
say too much flash because it's Dion. He wears the jewelry and the chains and the glasses and all that kind of stuff. But I do
Mm-hmm.
think some of it was a little bit too much focus on flash and not
Mm.
enough focus on what really wins you championships. Because if you even look at the
That's
LSU
a good
team
point.
that won 3 or 4 years ago, they had a high flying offense. But if you look at their offensive line, they won the Joe Moore Award. If you look at their
Mm-hmm.
defensive line, they had about 2 or 3 guys that got drafted in the first 2 or 3 rounds in the league. So the offensive line and defensive line are the key positions to having a successful team and to having a
Mm.
team that can actually win championships. So until he gets that figured out, I don't think this team is going to be able to win championships.
You could you
But
could see
this
that with
year, I think his focus is on that, so he's moving in the right direction.
yeah, you could
Mm.
see that with like a team like Michigan. Their
Yeah,
skill players is not really crazy good. Their
never,
wide
nope,
receivers is unheard of, but their line is crazy.
right, exactly. And guess what? They don't wear sleeves when it's cold outside. If you get my drift, if y'all can read
Yo,
between the lines.
yo, we can read between. Yesterday we got dead bodies from Flogger, and then today we're getting cowboy sleeves. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it a buck, man. I'm keeping it a
Okay.
buck.
So the perspective that you're adding a lot. I just want to give you your flowers right now, man. You are very knowledgeable, and you are making some really great points because it brings me to this thought. You just kind of ignited a thought in my brain where I'm thinking like, okay, so because the FCS football is not really FBS football where the talent pool, it doesn't spread around as much as the FBS. You can win with skill position players, but when it
Right.
comes to FBS, you got to be more balanced. And Coach Prime was probably in the mindset of, I can dominate with my skill position players. And then he got a rude awakening when he came to FBS. And a lot of people were saying, hey, man, you might want to, think a little differently when it comes to this FBS because it's a little bit more balanced. The playing field is a little bit more balanced. But if you're in the mindset of dominating, you better take those 3-point wins. You better take those 1 point. You better take a
Right.
win. A win is a win. And Coach Brown, you're coming in here thinking like you can fly around the field and that'll be enough. But you better take those 3 points like Arizona and go home and be happy with your base.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got one more. I got a few more things that I'm gonna sit back. I don't want to take over, but
Okay.
I went to Grambling, so so we are in the SWAC. That's the same conference that Jackson State is in.
Okay.
I was in school back in 2000, from 2004 to 2008, but I still keep up with SWAC football, right? So
Mhm.
if you look at Dion when he was at Jackson State, when they played in the Celebration Bowl, which is the HBCU National Championship game, if you really pay attention to it and look at those two games, he was favored to win those two games. But the reason why they lost was because of the offensive and defensive line. They
Woo.
got their butts whooped both
Yep.
games, and that's why he wasn't able to win that national championship those
Yep.
2 years. And I
Oh man.
thought that because I thought he was going to learn from his ways coming to Colorado, but he didn't. But now after his son getting his back broke, literally, it looks like now
Pause, man. Pause. You gotta put a pause on that. Come on, man. I'm in New York over here.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Cameron and Mason
right?
would not let that go, bro. Pause. Back
I'm sorry.
broke.
Okay. He got his back fractured. You know,
Thank you.
I think now that he's gonna he has a renewed focus on the offensive defensive line. I think he's gonna be good, but that's something that a lot of people miss, man. Them celebration bowls, he should have won both of those games because he had the better skill players, but it came down to offensive and defensive line. Go back and look at the tape when you got a chance.
Now you're making some good points because I think, like, sometimes you got to be woken up because you dominate the regular season, and then teams that actually figure out, hey, where we can beat them, when they figure it out, they start beating you. He may not have known. I don't know that it was a blind spot for him. I would say it was a blind spot until Shador. His waking up was seeing Shador get smacked so often. He wasn't paying attention to those big hogs. Now that it's a focus, I think that's why he's smelling blood, because he's like, oh, okay, so this is how FBF football works. So if I fill the line, games are won in the trenches, wait a minute, I already got the wings locked down, the skill position, ain't nobody got us like that. But now if I figure out the trenches, Coach Prime is about to be dangerous. That's what I'm hearing, guys.
No, I think once he gets the offensive line and defensive line figured out, he's gonna have the receivers, he's gonna have the cornerbacks, and he's gonna have the safeties to get the job done. But if you really think about it, those positions weren't the positions that were an issue this year.
Man, what do you think about that, Flock? You still there?
Say it again.
I said, what do you think about the fact that I felt like he was like blind to what Phil So Real is saying. Like he was really blind to the way that the big boy football works, with the games are won in the trenches, where he was so dominant on the flying around type of thing, and that's where he dominated. So he came and he said he was going to dominate, but now that he's seeing Shador gets pummeled so much, now he's clicking to him that you got to pay attention to the trenches, right? And now if Coach Prime pays attention, now that he's so aware of the trenches, he's about to be a killer. Like, he's going to be more a killer now, because now he knows where the football games are won with the big boy.
He's definitely going to be more well-rounded. I guess he just had to learn on his own. You feel me? He had to touch the tea kettle, and it was hot.
The tea kettle was definitely hot.
You see what happened to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you see what happened to Shador. So yeah, he definitely is figuring out, like, yeah, I need more of a well-rounded team. Even with him getting even another backup quarterback for Shador. So yeah, I think it's working out well. He's learning a lot of lessons. Remember, it's still only I think it's his 4th season coaching college football.
Overall,
he did 3 at Jackson State. He did 3 at Jackson State. And I think one of those years was only 7 games because of COVID. So it's like, yeah, he's still real green to this stuff. So he's still learning as he goes.
Does he have more to learn? Because I think, like,
of course, you can't never stop learning. Every coach got more to learn.
No,
even
that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean, okay, look, Coach Prime he's a decent coach, right? We understand Coach Prime is a decent coach, but at the end of the day, what he's able to do with the little bit that he had coming in to Colorado, just think about the fact that Coach Prime now, like, I think this was the last year where when he said, "Get me now, because this is the last you're going to see me be this bad."
No, that's a fact.
I'm starting to believe.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But he still has stuff to learn. Every coach has stuff to learn. Even Saban and Dabo Sweeney, they had to get on the transfer portal. Remember, they didn't like none of that stuff a couple years ago. So every coach is still learning. You can still get better. The game is still changing.
Yeah. And look, Dabo is still trying to adjust with the transfer portal, because he's not taking a lot of guys out the transfer portal, but he's having guys leave. So I think this year he's actually offered maybe 2 or 3 guys from the portal. So yeah, I think as a coach, you always have to be willing to learn. You always have to be willing to evolve. And I respect Dion because he wants to do it his way. But I also think that just as a man, you have to be willing to make adjustments when you're wrong. And I think this year was a wake up call. And if he really wants to be about winning and not focus on quote unquote doing it his way, I think he'll be just fine.
Yes,
I
sir.
think he was heavy. Yeah, he was heavy. Coach Prime was heavy on dominating, and he could still.
No,
he could have still. He could have still dominated, but I think the factor of domination comes in the trenches, and he was blinded to that. He was, yeah.
This the thing. If you watch any of those games last year, we didn't dominate any of them. We didn't see our
Right.
peak at any of them. All our wins was close wins. We didn't really blow nobody out all crazy. Even the first half of Nebraska, we looked horrible. And then the game we did look dominating in was the first half of Stanford. And then you seen how that went. So we didn't see our peak at all. Our TCU win was by the skin of our teeth. The CSU game was an overtime game, was by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
The Arizona, what was it? The Arizona State game was by the skin of our teeth. So we haven't seen our peak yet at all. We didn't play 100% in any of those games last year, even our wins.
Right. I kept saying that, like, this team was so explosive and we had so much talent in those rooms that I kept saying, when are we going to play our best football? Like, are we going to have to just settle for what we got now? Because I just kept thinking, like, man, we're not playing our best football. Something was amiss. We just kept playing, like, one game, maybe the defense will show up. The next game, maybe the offense will show up in the second half. And we always play second half football. It was like never put together. Maybe one game we put it all together.
So I'm gonna make a point real quick. Like I said, I'm a Bama fan. I watch Bama. They've been a second half team a lot this year. However, what made Nick Saban who he is was in his earlier years was instead of waiting till halftime to make those adjustments, he would make it after the first drive, after the second drive. So whatever he saw you doing really good, he made those adjustments in the first quarter and the second quarter and then wait till halftime. I think this year, if Dion and Charles Kelly and whoever is going to be the offensive coordinator, if they can make those in-game adjustments and start locking stuff down instead of waiting till the second half, the game like the USC game would look a lot different. The Stanford game would look a lot different. The Arizona State game would look different. You know, they probably would have won that by 10 points or 2 touchdowns. You know,
so what do y'all think about with that being said, with what you just said? Does that mean that Coach Prime maybe should take over some play calling sometime? Maybe like take over?
No, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. So. Honestly, a couple of games, I'm like, yo, I want him to make a little more decisions because it looked like he was letting his coaches coach too much.
Nah, if Dion calls plays, that's more ownership that he has to take that I don't think he's ready to take. And maybe that's me being judgmental. I'll accept that. But I think I don't think he's ready to take all the blame. I think if he can leave the play calling on somebody else, he can push off some of the blame if things don't go well. So
it's always gonna come down on him. It's Prime. You gotta know they're gonna put all the blame on him. They're not blaming. They're not gonna blame. They're not gonna blame the offensive coordinator Sean. You see, he just got a whole new job of how he was the OC. So they just know Prime getting all that blame.
I mean, but I'm saying he's gonna give you a reason why things happen the way it did. I don't think he always takes
he's gonna give you a reason why, but we know how the media gonna spin it.
That's fair.
They say anything. I'm looking at posts from this and that, and they spinning even his last relationship. Like, what that got to do with football? They gonna spin anything to make it look worse than what it is.
Yo, I'm here for the jokes and all that kind of stuff. But when we talking about football, like, man, that man's personal life ain't got nothing to do with
nothing.
That's why I'm not touching it. That's not why I'm not touching it. I'm like, man, let deal with that.
If y'all really want to hear about some stuff, go look at what was going on with Bobby Petrino. You know what I'm saying? When he was at Arkansas, go look at the whole situation with Mel Tucker. It's looking like he might be innocent, but like it's a lot more ruthless stuff going on than Dion breaking up with his girlfriend of 10 years.
Come on,
bro, but it's drama, man, and drama sells. Like, we're in the media business, man. Drama sells.
Drama sells when it's on Prime. That's
the salacious stuff, man. We get more views with the salacious stuff than we do with like real football stuff. No, y'all don't want to click on, like, the real football fans would click on the football videos that I realize.
Hey,
but it's the salacious stuff that I'll be getting the most paid on.
hey, but look, hey, Dion out there shacking up. We got to talk about it.
Look, if he got that Latino girl, hey, man, everybody want to know about
I'm
that
in the-
Latina.
Earlier, I'm in the Tennessee chat, and they trying to spin it like, because you heard Tennessee try to pay Seton like 7 figures or something like that, like a multi-million-dollar NIL deal or something like that. The Tennessee podcast was trying to spin it like, I think Prime made that story up. What?
No.
I swear, I was in. It's called the podcast called Off the Hook or something like that. It's a Tennessee volunteer thing. I'm in it earlier, and the dude tried to spin it like, I think Coach Prime made that up. I think he spent that story.
Which story?
About Jordan Seton basically getting an offer from Tennessee for a multi-million-dollar NIL deal.
Why would he make that up?
That's the stuff they put in their head. Like, they spin anything to make it sound like, and none of it ever makes sense.
and look, but you see though that there's some validity to that story, because that kid, that Nico Emiliama kid, that's playing quarterback this year.
Yeah, he got $8 million.
Yeah, they broke him off to come there. And this kid came from LA to Tennessee to play quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think there's some validity.
Wait, are you saying validity to the story that Coach Prime could have possibly?
No, that they offered Seton that money.
That Tennessee offered Seton X amount of dollars.
Oh, yeah, we had to clear that up, because when you said validity, he was talking about Coach Prime. I was like, wait a minute. So hold up. Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys know that this media game is a dirty game. It doesn't have to be Coach Prime. It could just be somebody in his office or somebody that's close to the team that could, you know what I'm saying, spin some propaganda to try to up the value of a specific player. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it spins the media also. I'm not saying Coach Prime is doing that, because we know Coach Prime's record. He barely talks about anybody. Coach Prime is just into himself, right? And people come for him. But I don't see Coach Prime doing that just because of the type of person that he is. But that's not to say, when you got Jim Harbaugh stealing people, he's going on, he's getting punished for stealing plays or taking plays.
Allegedly.
Well, he got punished for it, so that's not alleged anymore. When you go to jail for it, it's no longer alleged. You did it, bro. They already punished him 3 games, so it can't be alleged anymore. They already answered that alleged question. But I'm just saying, FBS football. This is the creme de la creme, right? This is the top of the line. This is where the NFL comes in and look for their best players, right? So people here, the jobs here are important. All right, Coach Prime's job, he's probably the only coach, maybe with Nick Saban and Kirby or whatever. They're probably the only coaches that probably are a little bit untouchable. But for every other coach, your job is on the line every single time. So people got to do what you got to do to win football games. A lot of jobs, and then you come in with your regime. And when you go out, your regime goes with you. When Coach Prime came here, he got rid of the old regime. So you never know who can be leaking something on your staff. You never know. It could be anybody on the staff, and people play dirty. Ain't nobody playing nice in at this level. This is politics. You mix in politics with a lot of money running around everything. Man, I'm telling you, constituents, people starting channels and putting it in somebody else's name just to funnel stuff through. Listen, man, I'm not buying nothing. It's possible. I don't think Coach Prime is doing it, but it's definitely possible that people do it.
No, he tapped in. He's tapped in. I don't think he's doing it, but I think he's well aware of what's going on. I think it's fair to say that he is. He's very tapped in. I'll put it that way. Between Deion Jr., Shador, Shiloh, even his daughters, you know what I'm saying? They know what's going on social media. So he's well aware of what's going on.
So I got this question for y'all. Just being myself. This is a question I was about to ask you guys. I was watching a podcast with Mike. Was it Mike? Yeah, Mike was on it. But this is something that's still going on, and I don't know why it's still going on, even though Coach Prime has come on and he has cleared the air about this, that he's not leaving Boulder, but the other coaches that are recruiting against him are using this as a selling point that he's leaving. And if we remember that one kid decommitted because
I think
he thought
Hill. I think Anton Hill or something like that.
Yeah,
Anton, yeah,
he plays about 15
Anwan,
minutes away
Anwan.
from me.
So
Yeah.
Anwan Hill and his
probably
yes,
Antoine. I
Anwan.
think his name Antoine.
It's not Antoine. It's Anwan. So no T on it is Anwan. His dad is Anwan Hill.
Okay.
I watched one of the interviews where his dad was Anwan Hill. But anyways,
Okay.
so this is being spun in the media and it's being spun by other coaches that Coach Prime is leaving. Why do you think like we can't let this go? And why are people just using this that Coach Prime is leaving? Like what do you think is going on with this?
Man, it's just a tactic to pull kids away, man. That's it. They just trying to put something out. They trying to put anything out there.
They've been saying Saban was
Anything.
leaving Alabama for the past 10 years, and he's still there and winning championships. So I think
They
it's just a
trying
part of the process.
Yeah, they're gonna say anything. They're gonna say anything.
Now, I will
But
say this though. I will say this.
all
I
right.
think I wonder what his plan is going to be after his kids leave, because you see the relationship he has with Shiloh, you see the relationship he has with Shador. He walks, down to the end zone with him, and then walks back, walks down as the coach, walk back as the dad, or however he does it. Is he going to have that same relationship with the quarterback next year when Shador leaves? And I think based off of how he recruits this year is going to tell us whether or not he's about to leave, because I think either one or two things are going to happen. Either he's just going to call it quits altogether, or another big program is going to come trying to throw money at the end of this year, because I think they're going to improve their record this year. So I don't think he's going to be at CU at the end of this year, me personally.
Wait, you don't think Coach Prime is gonna? You think Coach Prime is leaving CU after 2024?
Yeah. Yes.
And where do you think he's going? Flocka, before you take it, where do you think he's going?
I think it just depends on what openings they have. I think a school to keep an eye on is Arkansas. They had a really a down year this year, but they decided to keep their head coach. You look at Florida; they've had a lot of guys decommit this year from Florida. You even look at a team like Miami; they didn't live up to the expectations they had this year. So you have a couple of teams that are in that southeast area, that southeast region, that have coaches on the hot seat. And if you know anything about Dion, he is going to recruit Florida boys. So if he can get to Florida, if he can get to Miami, or even if he can get to Arkansas, I think that will bode well for him. So I think if you look at one of those three schools, I think that's where he could end up next year, depending on how their record is.
Yeah,
Man, next year though. Go ahead,
I don't really know about that, because I don't know what school's gonna give him the control he has.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
And then also, I think that helps the argument that those other coaches are saying that he's just gonna leave. So I think it'll make it bad for future recruits for him if he gets slides, because it's gonna really push that narrative to be a truth.
But would you turn down a Florida job right now if you're Dion? If you're saying
yes.
next year you can go to Florida,
if I don't got the control, I'm not going.
Yes.
If you think you're gonna treat me like the next coach, I'm not going.
I hear both y'all on the control point, because I think that was the biggest thing that sold him on Colorado. I don't know what his plans are, but I do think if he wants to go to a bigger program, he's gonna have to give up some control. But I think based off of Florida and how bad they want to win, I think they might really throw that bag at him. And I know he's saying God is calling him and telling him what to do, but that bag, but that bag might call louder.
I think other schools offer them more.
Flocka, we just got a comparison with God in the bag.
I think other programs offer them more money than CU. I think they did. I think he had bigger offers than CU. I think it was the control he couldn't get though.
Wait, did he get that many offers?
I think other schools was talking to him. Other schools were talking to him.
Do anybody in the chat know? Hold on 1 second, Phil. Phil, do anybody in the chat know how many schools Coach Prime got offered? I don't know that he got that many offers. From what I've been reading through the media, Coach Prime didn't get that many offered. This is probably the best. From what other media people have said, that this was the best offer that he got, and this was the closest thing that he was going to get, and that's why he took this one. I don't know that he got that many offers.
I think he got offers. I think this was the best opportunity.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, but anybody can offer you, right? I mean, you can go to like a high school.
TCU and Florida State were two schools he was looking at.
But he wasn't getting TCU. They just went to the championship, so they weren't.
No. He would have been there the year that was Sonny Dykes' first year at TCU would have been his first year. So he would have been there. I guess this would have been his third year at TCU had he taken over that job. But I only know TCU and Florida State that he was looking at. There were rumors about Arkansas because of their connection with Jerry Jones. Because, Jerry Jones went to Arkansas. He played on their team when they won the national championship back in the 60s. So those are the only three schools that I heard of with Deion.
So, and then another thing of point two, if people really listen to Deion, he always says, I'm not nobody's number two. You feel me? So I don't think he goes to a SEC school or something like that to play second fiddle to Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. I feel like with the Big 12, how it is,
you can't be afraid of competition.
How the Big 12 is now, he basically is going to run that conference for years to come.
He been pump faking on this dog thing. If you a dog, then go get him.
He a dog, but at the same time, he said he's not playing second fiddle. That's why he said he didn't send Shador in the draft this year. He said
that's not what second fiddle means.
He said he does. He said he doesn't want Shador playing second fiddle to Caleb Williams.
Right, you're right. That's what he said. But I also feel like from a coaching standpoint, why wouldn't you want to coach against Saban?
Yeah,
be smart. You know
if
what I'm saying? Like if you that dude, and if you really think about it,
the same reason Saban didn't want to coach against Bill Belichick no more.
A
lot of coaches didn't want to coach against Bill Belichick.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want to coach against that dog. That's what I'm trying to say.
But when you got Tom Brady, right? What has Bill Belichick been doing since Tom Brady left?
It doesn't matter. You can't take away 7 rings.
That is facts.
But
six rings, 7 rings. 7 rings don't go nowhere, man. It's still there. You in the record books. It's
but
done.
You got LeBron,
he can lose 40 years straight now, and he'll still have those 6 rings. So it doesn't matter.
What have you done for me lately?
He's already cemented. He's already cemented. It's
Who cares?
over.
What have you done for me lately?
They'll love him again as soon as he retires. I'm telling you.
Okay, listen. Let me throw this in. Let me throw this in here. Coach Prime does not want to sign a long-term contract. Is that playing into the anxiety of the fan base? That the fact that he does not want to sign a long-term contract. Before you guys answer, give me a second, okay? He does not. Is that playing into the anxiety and the reason why people think that he's going to leave? And also, guys, if you want to call into the show, if you want to join the panel, guys, you can call in hot tips for TLPsports@gmail.com. Right above my head on your screen. Hot tips for TLPsports@gmail.com. Call into the show. You can add your voice to the show, or you can just stay in the comments and you can add some information that you want to add in the comments. But go ahead, guys. Is Coach Prime not signing a long-term contract? Is that really playing into the anxieties of the fan base thinking that he's going to leave, like you're saying?
I mean, I would be concerned, but I mean, he signed a 5-year contract?
Yeah.
Yeah,
5-year contract. Contracts can be broken, though, right?
Yeah. I would say if he makes it to year 3 and we don't hear about them at the very least talking about an extension, then I would be concerned. But right now, I think it's a little bit too early, me personally.
Yeah.
It's
too early to sign a long-term contract, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, he can if next year he comes in and wins a whole bunch of games, his value goes up. So.
But y'all think the real reason why he doesn't want to sign what is the real reason why y'all think he doesn't want to sign a new contract? I mean, a long-term contract. Because I mean, he kind of gave us an.
I mean, this is his first contract. Let him play his first contract out.
Yeah, the power's in his hands right now.
He's been coaching 12 games. Come on, man.
Because I mean, think about it. If he wins 6 games next year, you know what I'm saying? That's obviously an increase from this year. His name is still going to be out there. He's going to be a hot commodity. He can use that as leverage to get a bigger contract, a bigger piece of the pie. Or if they're not going to pony up, he can go to a team that's going to give him all the resources he wants or needs to be a successful coach and to have a dominant program.
with 6 games.
Yeah, if he can have year over year improvement. If you look at Arizona and Jed Fish, when they started off there, I think they won like 2 games one year, 5 games one year. Now they won 9 or 10 games this year. If Dion can show constant progression, I think that's all the AD needs to see at Colorado. But if this year they have another stagnant year, they start off strong and then go and lose 5 or 6 straight, maybe they'll get worried. But I think he can use this year as a leverage year.
Well, I mean, he did kind of say, "Hey, the fan only blows when you're hot." When that question came up, I think he's playing it cool as far as like saying, "Hey, man, I want to control my destiny. I don't want nobody to control what I do." He wants to kind of control his destiny and not necessarily, what I'm saying, lock himself in, because I think he's still building. What do you think about the conversations or the relationship with Rick George? Does he give Coach Prime more room to grow, and Coach Prime is just trying to play that line, or do y'all think like right now Coach Prime is just kind of like running, doing what he can, but that relationship can go sour with losing real quick, like especially if he loses next year?
Hey, honestly, he's losing, but he's making losing look good when you bring all that revenue in.
He's making losing look good.
If you can remember, if you can remember, Colorado had to take out a loan to pay Deion's contract. They don't got to take out no loans no more to pay Deion's contract, the next 4 or 5 coaches' contract.
I think Deion Sanders paid himself. I think he found the
he
money.
Paid himself. He paid the whole staff. He paid the next coach that's gonna be coming if he ever leave. He didn't pay everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all listen to Matt McChesney. I don't want to shout out nobody else's podcast, but obviously, he's
that's the podcast I was listening to for that question I just had.
Yeah. So okay, boom. So if you've listened to him before, then you know how he feels about singing the whole fight song and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think there is something to that. I think if you're not going to embrace the culture, quote unquote, of Colorado and Boulder, and you're going to lose, I think that might rub people the wrong way. And because the AD is somebody that wears short sleeves when it's cold outside, I think he's big. I think he's big on tradition, because Colorado does have a historical tradition in college football. Yeah, they haven't been that good over the past 20 years, but they have a big culture. They have a lot of tradition in college football. So I think if Deion is going to continue to kind of make it about the Prime brand and not maybe bring in some of those things that make Boulder so special, I think it can grow sour a lot quicker.
I feel like they start. I feel like they starting to bend toward Deion. Though, if you watch that new episode on Prime, man, that band was playing them Yin Yang Twins.
Listen, let me say something. Let me say something real quick. I was in a marching band at Grambling. Being in the marching band at the HBCU, like, I respect it. I'm glad that, quote unquote, our music is getting out there. But it was hard to listen to, man. It was just hard to listen to. But again, I'm biased. I went to an HBCU.
It wasn't hard to listen to for me, man. That thing was bumping. I'm like, yeah, they bending to us. That's gonna be the Stampede Party.
No,
they
sound good. But to my point,
we got Buff. We got old Buff in here. Y'all don't start no war, please. Please don't do this.
but in all seriousness, think about it. Like, imagine, think about what song they used to play when the team would come out, and now they have to play that. Like, if you're used to playing the fight song for 50 years when the team comes out, and now you're playing the song that is the coach's theme song, to me, that don't sit right with me. Because Grambling, we got a lot of tradition, and if a coach tried to come in and we didn't play a certain song like we normally did, but we wanted to play a song to promote them, I would feel a kind of way.
Well, isn't that because your tradition is mostly based on the band? Because nothing else is going on over there besides the band. So
wait a minute. If wait a minute. I need you to do some Googles and look up Coach Eddie Robinson.
I know
And
Eddie
look up,
Robinson.
okay, and look up Doug Williams. So you know Grambling is more
Yeah,
than just
yeah.
a band. You know what I'm
See,
saying? We got a
I
good
know
football
all of
program.
them.
that's the thing though. All the new kids not gonna know any fight songs in the next 5 to 10 years, man. With this transfer
I don't
portal,
like
kids
that.
kids is at the school for 4 months and they out after the season, man.
I
They
don't
not
like
they not
that. I don't like that. You can't have a certain pride in the school when you only there as a
man.
high
Kids is
jump.
playing for 3 schools, man. They don't got no pride, man.
Yeah,
They
so
get that bag and trying to go number one.
Hey,
and
and I'm
I gotta press this point that
go ahead.
HBCU culture. I went to Bowie State, so
Okay, that's
HBC
what's up.
HBCU culture is based like people don't come for the football. Okay, people come for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
band. Okay, so you can't change that culture. What people are coming for, you got to give the people what they're coming for. So you
That
can't,
football.
yeah, you can't change the culture or the thing they're coming for because they're coming. People are dancing. They're coming to dance. They're coming to have fun and stuff like that. And ask
Yeah,
them about how the game went. Who scored any touchdown? Like they'll be like,
yeah,
who?
yeah.
What are you talking about? Like I know how the band the band leader was doing, you know, and they can do all the steps, but they can't remember what happened in the game because they didn't
Facts,
come for all that. So
facts.
HBCU culture is different. You can't like Coach Prime can come in there and come on now, like what we talking about? Like he was teaching he was in the daggone meeting with the music director.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing? What are we doing
I'm
here?
saying though, but like even aside from that, like let's take away like the band stuff, but like singing the fight song after the game, you know what I'm saying, like little stuff like that. I feel like I'm big onto tradition, and I know
Okay.
that may be old, that may be an old way of thinking,
Tradition is
and I'll
done.
admit it, and I'll admit it, but I feel like there is a certain pride that you have in the school when you know the fight song, when you sing the alma mater. Like at Grambling, when we sung the alma mater at the end of the game, that meant something to me. And to
The
your point, you got guys that are playing for 3 schools. Like, how? Why would they care about the school?
Right.
look when it comes to tradition, the only schools that really do tradition now is just like you said, HBCUs and probably Army and Navy. And you see how that game looked.
Oh yeah, that you know,
That's the most horrible football to watch.
wing
I'd
T
rather
all
watch
day.
Pop Warner.
Wing T all day. No, but I mean,
Terrible.
you even look at like a Penn State or a USC. They don't have names on the back of their jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Alabama. They don't do alternate uniforms. They only wear their crimson tops or their white tops for away games. So like you see some PWI schools still holding on to tradition.
They losing recruits like that though. I'm not gonna lie. So a lot of recruits is into them jerseys. That's how Oregon has been able to stay
Exactly. That's how Oregon got on the
afloat.
map. I give you
That's
that.
how they've been able to
Sure.
stay afloat because they don't got no national championships. They got zero. So
Hey, well, what did he say? Rooted in substance, right?
yeah, and they never win a national championship ever in its program history.
Yeah.
Listen, I went to Bowie. Somebody Quincy Kennedy said, "Dang, Harry, you're a college hopper." I graduated at UNC Greensboro, and then I went to grad school at Bowie State in Maryland. So I went back home, and then I went
Harry entered
to
the
grad.
portal.
Yeah, I entered the
Right.
portal, man. I had to, you know what I'm saying? I went to a PWI dealing with all my white people, you know, because I
Harry
had
was
to
in the
learn that
portal, first
culture.
player in the portal.
Hey
Harry.
man, you can't kill racism like I'm trying to do. That's my life's mission is to kill racism. You can't kill racism if you don't know white people. You see what I'm saying? So I had to learn with the white people, and then I went back to get my black culture. So now I'm kind of well rounded. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying, Tim? Let's bring Tim onto the. You feel what I'm saying, Tim? How you
Tim,
doing
what
today,
up?
brother?
What up, Fly?
What up? What up?
Hey, you right though. You right, Harry. You absolutely right, man. Because like I hear the gentleman talking about Grambling, and I used to stand up there on the hill, and he know what hill I'm talking about,
Yep.
and at homecomings and watch the games. But what Deion Sanders doing as far as having them to play a culture theme song, like I know a lot of HBCUs get mad at it, but I think that's a good thing because he's shedding a little light to Colorado, which, you don't see a bunch of white people black people walking around there on a day-to-day basis. So,
Yeah.
um, I think it's a good look, man. Honestly, it's all about change, in my opinion.
So we went back to grading Coach Prom on the since you're just joining the show, We graded Coach Prime on recruiting. Where do you grade Coach Prime on recruiting, all things encompassing?
On recruiting,
All things yes, encompassing on recruiting. How do you grade Coach Prime on recruiting?
I give him an
All
A.
things considered.
Oh, all things considered, I give him
Everything considered.
uh um I give him like a B minus, man,
And you got to explain your reason. Tell us why you're
or a
grading
B
him a B
plus.
or a
I
B
say a
plus
B
on
plus.
recruiting. And explain to us why B plus for recruiting, all things encompassing.
Well, for recruiting, I'm gonna give him an A.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an A for recruiting because can't nobody do what Dion does.
In what
And that
aspect?
just
What do you mean?
um as far as recruiting, like let me see, how can I explain this so you can understand it? It's a hand. Well, I'm gonna use Nick Saban for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even and Nick Saban got
Nick
championships.
Saban at Alabama, right?
Nick Saban at Colorado, I don't think he can do what Dion is doing at Colorado.
I
Let's just
believe in that
a
too.
lot of people may not know the names you're calling, so let's try to qualify who's who. Nick Saban is the
Okay,
coach of what?
Alabama Crimson Tide.
Nick Saban is the coach at Alabama, which beat
Right.
Georgia to get into that 14 playoff.
Hmm.
Yeah, because not everybody watching are like real strong football fans. That's why I try to clarify
Oh,
some things.
okay. So I don't think that. Well, I'm gonna put to you like this. He only
Mm-hmm.
been coaching. He coached what 2 years at or is it 3 years at Jackson State?
Yeah, like two and
Three
some change. They had that
Oh,
COVID
with
year,
the
like two and some
with
change.
the
right.
COVID year, two and a change.
Okay, two and change, and then he come over to Power Five at Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and he hasn't been coaching that long, and for him to pull off top recruits, man, you flip a Travis Hunter from Florida State to Jackson State, then you go in there, you get a Kamani McLean, then now you come back and get a Jordan Seaton. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think his name alone it carries a lot of weight. Uh, and that would be my reason and why I would give him a A. But I feel like he understands. He understands where the kids want to go, which is the next level. And I don't know if you've seen the interview with the I want to say Benson, uh,
Oh,
the
last
young.
night?
Yes,
Yep. Khalil
he
Benson.
touched. Yeah, he touched on a lot of things that we was talking about in your show the other day. Um, about coming to play for an NFL coach on the O line side, on the offensive side of the ball, to learn from. And I just think that,
Can somebody pull up that clip and send it to me? Because that'll be interesting for us to talk about. Can you cover some of the things he said?
Oh,
um,
Khalil Benson?
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Because
go,
I didn't see that interview.
He did it on Live in Football, so like a Buffs channel. Life in Football, I mean. The dude Colin over there. Yeah, he did an interview with him. I think Khalil Benson
Oh,
did
cool.
another interview this morning too.
mm-hmm.
I didn't watch it though.
And what are some of the things he said? Like, just give me one or two things he said.
Well, he was talking about how he's how we was talking about we need that leader who's gonna be that dog um in the locker room, in the weight
Mm.
room, in practice, who's gonna hold who accountable. He talked about that.
Mm.
And
Let's put
you
that on
know
a shirt. DT2 equals don't touch two. Let's
yeah,
put that
Yeah,
on a
that's
is
t-shirt.
basically
well
Benson said he's doing that. He said that's gonna be his brand. He's gonna put that
yeah.
on a hoodie, shirts, and all that.
And let me just scream.
Operation Don't Touch
Tim,
Two.
Tim, I'm gonna let you finish, but man, let's just scream that the kids that are coming this year on 2024 for next year, they know the excitement, man.
Yeah, even
My
even
blood
beside
is like,
even besides the skill level, I'm glad we getting kids that got some grit in them. Our team needs to
That's what
get
I'm
much
saying. And
meaner.
they're talking about the assignment. And if you're
Our
That's
team,
coming in
our team
with
got
the
to take pride
assignment
in
on
each
your
other.
brain, you are saying that you are coming for this one job. You got one job like the kicker. You got one job like Coach Prime says. Kick the darn ball when we need you to kick it. And when you come on in as an offensive lineman, you got one job. DT2, nigga. Don't touch two.
and
He
hey
on one.
Harry,
He on one,
hey Harry
y'all.
and Flock.
Huh?
Hey, let
Huh?
me throw this out there real quick too. And Flock, I know you gonna really understand where I'm going with this. And you too, Harry, and the other
Uh-huh.
gentleman as well on here. But the I give him a because he primed and played the game at the highest level. Number one, he understands uh certain ingredients that he need to implement into this special sauce. So if you think about an NFL team, I'm gonna throw out the St. Louis Rams back in the day when they had Fault, they had Hakeem, they had Isaac Bruce. They were
Marshall Falk,
dump
Torrey Hall.
Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt. They
Yeah.
were Hakeem. They were electric.
Mhm.
Every team was scared of them on the offensive side of the ball.
Greatest
I
show
feel
on
like
turf.
And I feel like Prime is doing the same thing. He went and got that kid from NC State, an excellent route runner. If you watch his highlights, um, and can create separation. The kid from Vanderbilt out of SEC,
Vanderbilt. Dog.
yeah, dog, straight up dog.
SEC. Dog.
Oh my God! And then you
Kid from
got,
Cincinnati. Tight end. Dog.
oh my God! And then you got Travis Hunter.
Dog. Once in a lifetime talent right there. Rare.
What? And you got all them on the field along with
Them
uh
freshmen's gonna be dogs too. Draylon Miller,
yes, man.
Michael. We
And
got
that
some.
kid that, yeah,
Yeah,
McHale, the one that coming from Georgia,
yeah.
man, can flat out fly.
Dylan Edwards. Yeah, we got some dogs, man. I don't.
They are
Anybody
gonna.
can touch. We 10 deep who can take the rock to the house on offense. We like 10 deep. Like 10
I,
different dudes could go take that rock to the house.
I don't see nobody now. That creates a lot of one on ones.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So I don't see. I don't. Man, I'm still sticking with that 10-2, bro.
Yo, I'm
I
feeling
just
I'm
because of
feeling
that
like my
firepower.
So
I'm
real
feeling
quick,
good, man. I'm telling you.
if you saying 10-2, who are the two teams you really think that they're gonna lose to then?
Uh, well, I'm not gonna say lose to.
I mean,
I'm
if
gonna
you're
use the
saying
word.
10 and
It's
2,
a
then they gotta lose, right?
Yeah, they
okay.
gotta
I'm gonna
lose.
say.
So so
I'm gonna
so
say.
you
I'm gonna
talking
say.
about def?
I'm gonna say
Because they ain't
Oklahoma
gonna
State
lose,
and
they're gonna be a
Kansas.
tie.
Oklahoma State in Kansas.
Okay.
For me, a definite. What was it? A definite loss? Yeah, Oklahoma State is definitely the common denominator. After that,
But DT2,
you
guys,
said
come on, man. We
after
can't get
that, I
Oklahoma
might.
State with
I
DT2.
after that, I might. After that, I might say Arizona because they got a good quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arizona, one of them teams, like
I got
even
to
though
press back, man.
we played them good, but that QB is only gonna get better.
He's only gonna get better. But Flocka, let me ask you this: uh, those weaknesses that Prime. Okay, we lost by 3.
Yeah, we lost by 3. We played a great game.
Okay, now
Arizona. But we only
Dion
lost
is
by 3
fin
because they didn't press the issue. They just wanted to win the
right,
game. They
right,
weren't pressing no issue.
right. So Dion is finna go get those plug and play uh dogs on that defensive line and linebackers and bring in a skillful corner as well. Even though we
Like,
still got Carmoney McClain, I'm not. Let me put
uh-huh.
that in the mix
Oh,
because
don't start
I know
that
you.
war again.
Hey, I know I ain't trying to start that conversation up again.
Do-
We still have
we
Carmoney.
still got Dog McLean. We still got
Yeah,
Dog
we still
McLean.
got
Doug
dog.
McClain.
We still got dog McClain.
He's a
So
dead
is Flocka. My question to you is:
body.
do you really think that it's still going to be um as close as it was this year?
Score wise for Arizona.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I look. We played them good. We definitely can beat them. I think we could have beat them this past year. I guess always got to believe in a quarterback play. It's something about a good quarterback that always gives a team a chance.
Yep.
So
facts.
Cause we got some smart corners. We got some, like someone like Travis, like Nebraska. They said they getting the number 1 QB young freshman. Man, I can already see Travis baiting the kid into throwing some bull and picking them off, just cause how smart he is. So having a smart quarterback, they can get out of a lot of them bad decisions.
And I looked at some of his highlights in high school. He's good, but
Okay,
I
he's
feel like
okay.
he made a. I feel like he's okay. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like he's okay. I don't think that he just like. I picked the kid out of Michigan over him.
You said the quarterback out of Michigan?
Yes.
Who? Who that? Bryce Underwood? Or
Yeah. Yeah, Bryce
okay.
Underwood.
Yeah. Yep. I
His
picked
game
him.
is better to me.
Yeah, and he's young. I think he's like 16.
Yeah. He's a junior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to number 7, the Oklahoma State game. Let's go back to that.
Yo, they gonna pound the rock, man. They
Let's
gonna
go-
run the ball all day.
Let's go back to that because I feel this is how I feel now. I'm starting to feel because remember I'm titling this live. Deion smells blood, bruh. If Oklahoma State is the hardest thing on our schedule and we've gone through that murderous row, Coach Prime
See,
might.
they
I'm
the
telling
hardest thing on our schedule, but you got to know, like with our team, we can't be doing that missed tackles because their
No.
best thing is their running back.
I
So
don't know that that's going to happen
those
next year
average
though,
running backs from last year that was making us look bad. This boy's a different story.
bruh.
Oklahoma
Yeah,
State running back is serious, so we can't
yeah.
be
With
That's
going out there
Oliver,
missing
Huckleberry
tackles.
Sanders.
We
Oliver
can't go
Garden.
out there missing tackles. Shiloh can't be up there missing tackles. This man, you feel me? Linebackers can't be missing tackles. You got to go get that boy.
Hey
Yo,
Harry,
Yeah,
let
man.
me point this out.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State has always been a contender in the Big 12. Not only that, they can recruit as well, and they tap into Texas heavily.
Oklahoma State in week in 11-22, they are 8-3, bruh. Who they losing to? Oklahoma State is 8-3.
And win.
They 8-3, but they beat an
They
Oklahoma
playing a
team.
11-22,
they played Texas.
2023.
Didn't they lose to Texas?
Yeah, they lost
yeah,
to Texas.
Yeah, Texas is in the what? Playoffs.
Yeah, Texas gonna be an SEC team next year. They
Yeah.
still in the playoffs. They got a chance to win that natty. So
They played Oklahoma every year.
yeah.
They compete, man.
What's the toughest game Oklahoma State? Because now I want to zone in on this team. I might have to make
Oklahoma
a video.
State toughest game was Texas Tech. Texas against Texas.
Yeah.
And how did do in that game? Like
They
was
got
it close?
blown. They got blown
They
out.
got blown out. Texas is good this year, man.
Texas is a top 4 team though, top 3 team in the country.
Yes.
So real quick, I got it pulled up. Oklahoma State lost to South Alabama 33-7, and then they lost to Iowa State 34-27, and then their last loss to give them their third loss for the season was against Texas, which was 49-21.
And
Yeah,
Iowa
when it
State
comes to
ain't no pushover.
when it comes to Oklahoma State, they one of those tricky teams, man. They can go in there and lose to the worst, and then they can go there
Yes.
and beat the best. Also, they one of
I'm
those type
sorry,
teams.
and they also lost to UCF 45-3. So
Yeah, they did
when
get
they
spanked by
lose, they normally
UCF.
get blowed out because they slacking off. But they're
So-
still a tough out.
So before I bring on Quincy, because Quincy wants to add his voice to the conversation. Before I bring him on, I'm gonna ask y'all the worst team that they lost to. What was the worst team on that list that you just listed that they lost to?
What was
South
it?
Alabama.
Alabama something? South Alabama? Yeah.
South Alabama, yeah.
South
Yeah.
Alabama, right?
Didn't Alabama beat Auburn?
No,
I
that
don't
was
know.
New Mexico.
Oh,
That
okay. Oh, okay.
All right, so let me bring on Quincy. Let me see what he thinks about what we're talking about now because I'm picky. I'm saying Coach Prime is smelling blood, and I think he's going for blood. I think Coach Prime is about to beat from what because I'm an analyst. My brain analyzes data. I eat data like I eat like African food. I eat it all day, right? So I'm
Fufu.
gleaning. Fufu, but I'm gleaning from what you guys are saying, right? Coach Prime about to be the king of the Big 12. I'll tell you why in another video, but I'll tell you why. But Quincy, what do you think, man?
I think so
Coach
too.
Prime smells blood.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Can y'all hear me?
We
How
can
you
hear
doing? How you doing?
All right, man. Yeah, man. So personally, man, what I think is that Coach Prime already knew what he was looking at doing, man, for the next season. Knowing we was gonna go to different conference we was going in, you gotta have them dogs up front, no matter what. So, everybody know from his strategy is to recruit from the outside in. I mean, it's easy to go out here and go get skill positions, right? So what I'm thinking is Coach Prime went on ahead and jumped out there and got the skill positions, which was going to bring a lot of attention, in order to get those big guys up front. You know what I'm saying? Because they're always overlooked. So if you go out here and you get these skill positions, man, and you bring a lot of attention to the school, you got the media coming, you got the celebrities coming. That firepower was what everybody want to
Yeah,
see,
and
right?
points, and
Nobody
points.
nobody really wants to pay attention to the O line and D line, no matter if that's what wins the game. You know what I'm saying? They still don't get the credit they deserve, man. So you go ahead out there, it's your first year getting there, you come into a team that only won one game. Now, no matter if you win or lose, however many you do, long as you got that attention, that media. I mean, look at all the money he done brought in, how much fame and star power he done brought in. So we all know that Coach Prime is a marketing genius, right? So why not go ahead? I mean, nobody expected us to go undefeated. Nobody expected to make a bowl game, playoff, none of that. Nobody expected that. We already know that, right? I mean, the expectation is just to always win, but it wasn't to go all the way. Now, any smart person know that, man. So especially with the rebuild, man. But personally, that's just my opinion, man. You go ahead and you bring in what everybody wants to see. You bring that attention. Now you got the big guys up front looking like, man, we can go on over here because ain't nobody paying attention to us over here at these other schools, yada yada yada. But if we go ahead over here, all the attention already there. I mean, one big block up front for Shador, the running backs getting 10 yards on this carry, on that carry. Now, every small thing that the O line do that's coming in now,
It's gonna
it's
look
gonna be
good.
blew up. It's gonna be blew up 10 times, no matter what it is they do. And that's gonna bring attention to them. And we got a whole lot of, one and dones coming in, man. And this is the year for them. They might have not been getting attention all year, but they stats is good, but nobody pays attention to that because it's just not a big factor like Marvin Harrison, you know what I mean? Or Travis Hunt or Jimmy Horn catching a long touchdown. Like nobody really cares that much about the trenches, you know what I'm saying, outside of us sports fans and knowing that the trenches is what's making those big plays happen. So, but the only thing I'm worried about, man, is, I'm a Prime fan. I love Shador, but I don't think our running game was really that bad last year. I just think we didn't do it because coaches really trying to get Shador them yards and them stats, man, and get the highest achievement that you can possibly get, which is a Heisman. Now, this is my personal opinion, man. I think we have really good running backs, man. I think our backs was used kind of wrong. I don't think Dylan Edwards should be a up the middle, you know what I mean, type of back ever. He should be more of a swing pass, hit
Q
him on the
trying to bait me.
screen.
Q, you
A
trying to
sweep.
bait me. Q trying to get me
How
in trouble with the panel because he know that he's trying to bait me, man. Because I'm gonna get excited and start spazzing because that's exactly what I be screaming on this show. You trying to get me in
see,
Nah, I
trouble
think
on
I
the
think
panel?
I think I think Dylan Edwards was used wrong also. I think he was used wrong
yeah,
also.
because I mean you gotta think about it, man. You got I mean you had Hankerson, right? He's not that big, but he was a little shifty, right? Okay. You give it to him a couple times up the middle, whatever, whatever. But ultimately, he wasn't your up the middle guy either. You had 1,000+ yard running back that you was playing third string, which is my boy Savion. I'm big on running backs. I played running back in school. Savion was a strong, big back, and you seen what he could do. He produces, man, and we didn't give that man the ball enough. I mean, he was getting 3, 4 yards a carry. Any man, you don't got to be the best mathematician to know that it's only 10 yards to a first down. If this man can get you 3 yards a pop, he only got to get three and a half of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Preaching.
the first game Shermer took over. We started running the ball a little bit that game.
And that's but see, and did you also notice that Shador? That was after Shador had started getting beat up some. Okay, so now you're becoming a more evened out football team, and we've seen it. Even though we kept losing, we still. I personally feel like we look better as a complete team for us run pass towards the end of the season. Because before it was pass, 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 pass. You know what I mean? And that's how Shador got all those yards. And see, and I'm worried, man, coming from a running back, I'm worried that our running backs are still gonna get, you know, pushed to the back once we
So
get
you
those O
agree with me
line.
with what I said yesterday, Q? You agree with me that I had a concern that because Coach Prime, he's so caught up on dominating so much that my concern is that he's building this line, this great wall of Boulder. He's building
Just
this
for
line
Shador.
to really, for Shador to go off this in 2024. And I
Yeah.
feel like the runners are not gonna get no
I mean,
love like
you
that.
gotta, you definitely gotta know though. The new college game, man, it's a pass happy league, man.
It's
Our
a
running backs,
pass happy league.
it ain't the same no more, man. When like
No, it
Adrian
ain't.
Peterson and Ricky Williams was playing and they was getting 2,000 yards. Look, Ali Gordon is the
Hey, I
top
will
running
say
back
this:
in the country, and
the
he only
Pac,
rushed for 1,500.
right? I
Yeah.
will say this: the Pac-12, they pass the ball. When you gonna get more into a running, downhill running, you're gonna move over to the SEC.
Yeah. But
They
but
gonna run that ball heavily.
I will say this though, man. We do have the backs that we can run the ball with, man. We extremely skilled back there, man. I mean, we was extremely skilled back there last year, man. And I just feel like, man,
They got
any
another
back
one coming in too.
that's what I know, man. I just feel like I don't go to Colorado if you want to get some rushing yards. That's not where you're going to want to go to. And and that I hate to say that, man, but you can't, especially not while Shador is there, because man, I'm telling you, Shador probably gonna have 5,000 passing yards this year if that O line hold up.
I'm
I
telling you,
said
I
that
thought it was gonna
yesterday.
be 55.
I mean, he
I thought
got
he
some
would
new
have.
weapons. He got some weapons. So
He should have had 55, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
he gonna
yeah.
be up there.
I mean,
He gonna
But
I
be
no,
up
mean,
hold on,
look
hold on.
at
Before we move on, Q, I got to push back on a little bit on what you said earlier. I think when you came through, you was giving Coach Prime. Even though me and you agree totally about the run game, but I think you're giving Coach Prime too much credit in the beginning. I agree with you 50-50, but you're giving him way too much credit, and I got to push back a little bit because I think what we said in the first half, the first segment, I don't think Coach Prime was a real heavy. You said that he kind of knew that the skill positions, were going to sell the rest of the guys, and he was playing this game like, okay, let me bring in the skill, and then we're going to go after that guy. I'm not giving you that. I can't give you that. I don't think Coach Prime knew. I think from Jackson State, from what we talked about earlier, I think Coach Prime coming in from Jackson State and the talent pool just being, the way that it was, and he was able to dominate with skill. I think he was surprised a little bit to now and learn this year. I still stand on that. I believe he learned this year that the trenches win games. And he now knows that the trenches win games. And that's why he's so focused on the trenches now, because you can't do the same thing you did at Jackson State. You can't do it in FBS football. So I can't
I'm,
give you
I will,
that he knew and he was playing, he knew and he was playing like he knew and he was playing the game like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and build outside in. No way. He didn't know that.
I'm
I
gonna
think he
tell
just
you,
learned that.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. I think Coach Prime has been around the game for a very long time, and I think he's a very, very intelligent football guy.
I agree with
I
that, but I'm
I
not giving
think
you
he,
that other
I,
part.
I think he, I think Coach Prime knows you gotta have O line, but I also think that it was more out there to choose from in a skill position than it was linemen. So he went out there and got what he knew he could get right now that would
Okay.
draw a lot of revenue and attention in order to attract those big guys for the next year. Because we've been knowing, I mean, look at the TV deal stuff we've been going through the whole season. We already knew they was leaving, right? I already
Okay.
knew where we was going to go. So he been knowing this from when the time he came in. I'm sure he went in, they sat down, they strategized this out. They knew exactly what was going to happen. So he like, okay, we got to ramp up. We got to get some money. We got to make sure next season we got the money to put into those collectives to bring these big guys in because we ain't going to get them this year. We
Okay.
just not going to get them.
So with that being said, I gotta and I see Peter Investor said this. I gotta now take a little bit of that back because Coach Prime in the middle of the season he was talking to Irvin and he was saying, man, I just need 7 more guys.
Yeah,
I
he
just
said
need those
7 to 10
big.
dogs.
Yeah, he just
That's
said
what
I
he
need
Like
those
said.
7 to
7
10
big
more
boys.
dogs.
If I can just get my 7 big boys, so
Uh-huh.
I stand corrected. I will correct myself. You're right. I'm wrong on that because Coach Prime didn't know. And then we also
Uh-huh.
talked about a couple of shows ago that Coach Prime has some of these dogs, and they decided to jump into that transfer portal. So he had to duct tape his team around because he had no other choice. So on those points, I will stand corrected. I would say I definitely stand corrected. You guys are definitely right. Coach Prime knew about the trenches.
Yeah.
Peter Investor, you're right,
Well,
and Q, you're right. I agree.
Yeah. 10. All right. So let me ask y'all, man. I don't know if you've looked it up or looked into it yet, but what you think about those Wade kids that's coming over from Kentucky? Because one of them is he's a super athlete at linebacker, and the other one plays quarterback. And he was really really good in high school, man. I know the linebacker as a freshman he started like 13 games, man. Had like 2 sacks and I think he had like 13 tackles. Really good. And he's the same size as the new tight end we just brought in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know too much about the Wade kids, so you guys can take it. The panel can take it. I don't
is
know too much about them.
is he an inside linebacker or an outside linebacker?
I
Do you know?
believe he played.
I
I
heard they
believe
was
he
trying to
played.
make him an inside linebacker.
Yeah, because I believe
I
he's
mean,
outside. I mean, he's probably like a converted DN also. So
okay,
I
more
heard
like
they
an
trying to
edge
move him
rusher.
inside though to play that middle backer.
that's a big
And that's what
that's a
they
big
need.
move.
They're gonna need the inside linebackers that Mike in that will position to step up and hit somebody
Yeah,
because
we
we
need
know they're
some.
gonna be
Yeah,
running
we
the
need some
ball.
hit. We need some short tackling too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what's her name? Is Bentley? Is Levante Bentley coming back? What did he play this year?
Who was inside linebacker?
Man, we need to scrap all our last year linebackers,
Hey, you getting rid
man.
of Levante?
I'm not trying to see none of them dudes, man. I'm not going to lie. I watched a
Hey,
lot of plays
Me
where it's
either.
like,
I agree.
dang,
I
like
agree.
one short tackler would have negated that 40-yard run. It could have been -6. Like,
I ain't gonna lie though, man. You know, we can do that. We can scrap all our linebackers. We can scrap the whole line, right? But we definitely need those second, third screen players, man, because as we see, you know, this
Yes,
football,
we need
somebody
that.
might get injured the first game. You know
you
what I
ain't lying.
mean? So
Scream.
you always need somebody who can step up that's got
You
that
need
game
dead bodies,
experience.
according to Flock. You need dead bodies.
Nah. I ain't say we need dead bodies. I said we had dead bodies.
Well, I'm just saying, if the third string, that's a dead body. We just need somebody to finish the game. Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Just help add 0.2 seconds to
Okay,
Shador.
so where does Bentley, Levante
Hold on.
Bentley, what is he? Where does he go? If we're strapping is he at least a shoe in for somebody to take a break? Because he
So
did
so
play well second half of the
so
season.
real quick, he was the leading tackler on the team this year. I got it pulled up on ESPN right now. So
That's Levante Bentley you're talking about, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Bentley was the leading tackler
So what we
on the
talking about?
team, but he's a senior this year. So I don't know if
Mm.
that's with or without the COVID year because that whole COVID year, I think this is the last year that's going to be in play. So you're going to have guys that have the extra year eligibility. So I don't know if he's coming back or not.
Well, if
So
he do come back, I think he should start, man, just because he got that experience, he got the body, he's
yeah,
tough,
I
he's
agree.
physical, and this Keaton Wade kid that's coming over from Kentucky, he does play outside linebacker, and he's coming in as a junior. He was a sophomore last year. I mean, and he played all 12. He played 12 regular season games. The kid had 35 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, 3 quarterback carries, a block kick. I mean, he's a monster, man. To be
All
a
over the place.
sophomore.
so Bentley was the second behind, according to Yardman. Bentley was the second behind the leading tackler Shiloh.
If Shiloh the leading tackler, that's not good. That means they get into that third level.
I
That
mean,
means that
they get past you,
And
exactly.
right?
and, and Shiloh got kicked out of a game too. You got to remember that.
Yeah, he
Shiloh's a
did.
headache. He's the headache game president. But why you say if Shiloh's the leading tackler because he's a safety? Is that why we talking? Why you say
Yeah,
that?
safety. He
No,
basically was playing free safety. He was the last line of defense. So
Yes.
we saying
that
that's
mean they
bad,
got past them first 2 levels.
If they make
So
it
right?
that
into that third level, that's bad consistently.
But to be
that's a good point.
fair, some of those tackles are going to come from the fact that
They wasn't
people are
that many
passing the
coverage
ball to.
tackles. Shiloh didn't have that many coverage tackles. He had last line of defense tackles. That's what he had.
But I mean, he's playing safety. He's roaming around the field, so his job is to find the ball and hit the person.
Nah, he's able to find a ball. But look at the good linebackers. Old boy from the Baltimore Ravens, Warner from the Seahawks. Some dudes got 133 tackles. The safeties be at like 60.
Yeah. That's because they're doing their job up front.
Hold on. Let me throw this point in there, though. Remember, we were playing patch offense. Remember, we were defense. We was patching people around. Remember, even Trevor Woods had to move over to linebacker. So we didn't have enough pieces for people to do their job. So people had to, like, I think at one point, even Travis Hunter had to cheat over and help somebody else. So I think the reason why Shiloh got so many tackles is because he was cheating over to help people out. Shiloh was so frustrated.
They was breaking through. They was breaking through the first two levels. That's what it was. They was breaking through the first two levels, man. Come on. They said Shiloh got 14 more tackles than Bentley, and he got kicked out of a half of a game. Come on, man.
But y'all want to know who we really sleeping on, man? And I really don't like it, man. I've seen it through the whole season. He got a little shine here, a little shine there. But he's really
who Cameron Sealman?
Cameron Sealman Craig.
Nah, man. He's a beast. Yes. He's a dog. I love him. I love him. Cameron Sealman's a beast.
And I feel like they don't talk about him enough, man. They do not talk about the kid. What he had, like 4 interceptions?
Yeah, like 3, 4. Like he tied for first on the team. He's a dog. But the thing is, I think I like him, but I like him more in that nickelback position. I feel like he handled that well.
Yeah. I feel like he need to put on just a little bit more size.
Yeah, a little bit more weight. Yeah, a little bit. He's a beast though. I like him. He underrated. I like Cameron.
Yeah,
he like he's really underrated. He all over the place.
Yep.
I probably wouldn't compare him to Palomalo because that boy right there was something different. But Cameron,
he'll come up and hit you, but he's all over the place.
Yeah,
everywhere the ball was at.
Yeah, I like Cameron, man, and I feel like they need to talk about him more. They need to give him more publicity. They need to get him on that camera more, man. We need to feed him, man, just like we doing the Travises, and we started giving Kamani a little bit more media at the end. We need to get Cameron some money, man. I don't care what nobody say, but he need to get on the camera, man.
I'll tell y'all this. If a sleeping dog is a dog, don't wake him. Let him stay a dog, because if you start telling, just like Michael Jordan said in one of these stories, he was praising one of those guys like too early, and next thing you know, they went soft on him. So if he's a sleeping dog, then let him sleep.
I don't think we're gonna have that with Craig. That boy got a real mean backstory,
Buddy been around for a while. He's been there since the JSU days, the Trinity days. It's his time to shine.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think, man. He really got a grudge on the shoulder, man, because he wasn't going to go.
Somebody said KMS said he got an IHOP commercial, so he eating.
I just seen him in it. Yep, I just seen him.
Okay.
So he.
You're right. I did see that. I seen it. Yeah, because he eating like the original pancake or something.
Yep. I seen him.
Yeah, so but Cameron.
Okay. All right,
but he wasn't going to Jackson State at first.
Nah,
he was going to another
FAU.
school. Yeah, and then they pulled the scholarship.
Yeah.
So the kid is really hungry, man, and he really got a chip on his shoulder, man, and he got a
priming him since high school, man.
So let's throw this in there. The question becomes: if everybody is strong on the line, does that mean that the dynamic changes? Those who didn't really shine much because they were either compensating, either had to overcompensate, or
is this defense we talking about?
Right? We talking about defense. We're staying on defense.
Okay.
We're staying on defense. The same could go with the offense as well. But if we're talking about people having to overcompensate because people weren't doing their job, then does that dynamic change now that we getting more beasts on that line?
Yes, so. Yes, it does. So with us having a line, a rush, now those passes coming out faster. Now them corners there to pick it off. We caught a lot of picks with no pressure last year. Travis is able to bait more. He's going to pick off a lot more. So that pressure is going to change a lot. It's going to make our linebackers look better, because it's not the running backs are not making it to the second level and all that. Everything's going to improve with that line improve by itself.
That makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world, man. Because like you said, you get that trouble up front, man. Them O lines can't hold our D line, I mean, I didn't see a lot of stunt blitzing and all of that going on, man. With our line, I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, with Sap coming in, I feel like he's gonna help with that, and it's gonna keep the energy up, man. I don't think he's gonna let these kids take a play off. You see what I'm saying? I think he's gonna be all on them, man. And with that pressure up front, now you can give your corners and your safeties kind of a break.
I was just about to say that makes an argument for Flock that his favorite player Kwamani might be eating next year.
Hey, Kamani. I never said Kamani was my favorite player, but I see something in him though. I see something in him.
You'll be making that argument though.
Kamani's gonna start. If we would have had a better D line this year, then Kamani wouldn't have looked as bad as he did this year. Cause that boy really a star, and he got the height, and he's a leg tackler, man.
Prime like them long corners, man. Pause.
Yeah.
6'2". Pausing that. I appreciate that pause.
Yeah, man.
I'm from NYC.
Colorado get that DB from Liberty.
I think he visited.
I think they're still trying to get him.
I just seen earlier the kid Baby T.O. just got off the flight in Denver like hours ago. So
TCU, the one from TCU.
Yeah. So he currently there.
I got another update for y'all.
That's his brother right there. That's Keaton.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. That's the quarterback.
That one the linebacker. The quarterback is number one.
Oh, yeah, Keaton. Yeah, that's the linebacker. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yep. That's the linebacker. 6'5".
This is the update for the other guy.
6'5",
Keaton, right? So it's Wade
that's
and
Keaton. And that's Destin. Now they last name is Wade. So it's Destin Wade and Keaton Wade.
Correct.
Wade and Destin Wade. So yeah, this is the other guy. So we got both of them now. This is it.
Yeah, they come as a package. That's the same way they did with Kentucky. They're gonna come as a package.
I think
UCLA Twins.
I fake want to bring something up too. I think we got a flip alert.
Are they from Broder? Because somebody said welcome home.
A flip alert on who, Flocka?
No, they from. I think they're from Western Kentucky. Last night I'm scrolling on Instagram late night and I see the kid King Joseph post something about Colorado in his Instagram, but he ended up deleting it. This morning it was gone, so I'm like, oh, a little thing. So now he posted on his Instagram. He posted basically his commitment countdown. But the commitment countdown is in black, gold, and white.
There it is.
I'm like, dang, is he gonna flip the? Is he not gonna go to Syracuse and he gonna come to Boulder?
We speculating now, boy. We like, oh my God, he was
the thing he posted last night. The thing he posted last night, it kind of looked like a birthday card or something like that, but it had the Colorado Bus logo on it sitting on the table, and then he deleted it. When I looked at it this morning, it was gone.
And you talking about 6'5", 242.
Yeah,
you said a birthday card.
It looked like a card. It was basically like a folded piece of paper, and it had Colorado logo on it. He posted that last night on his story. I wake up.
Shador just have a birthday too.
I wake up this morning. The thing is gone. I'm like, oh, he deleted it.
What color is Cheerios? What color is Cheerios?
He said the Wade twins is Cheerios.
I said, what color is Cheerios? Is it in the buff colors? Was he eating Cheerios?
Yo, look, I'm looking at the post that he has, and they do look like cards, but I think those were basically just like the offer letters that he receives. You know how guys
but he spent the whole week in Syracuse, so I wonder why he'll post that. They've been speculating going to Syracuse. Why he posting buff stuff?
I'm looking at it right now, and they do have the crystal ball for him going to Syracuse, but I mean, come on, anything can happen. So if you look at his Instagram story, why is his countdown thing in black, gold, and white? Right.
Yo, you're going deep with it, Flock. Come on now.
Sometimes you gotta look. If I'm committing to Syracuse, I'm blue and orange. You're not gonna see no more buff stuff, nothing. Yeah, he been there all week, literally. The dude that recruited him to Colorado, he's not a recruiter for Syracuse.
So who recruited him? I wonder, because I'm looking at the stuff right now.
I think Williams. Williams.
Yeah, the guy that
Nick Williams.
Oh, Nick Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, that is right. Yeah.
But Syracuse got the coach from Georgia that went up there. I can't remember what position he coached, but I think he was a DB coach. But he's at Syracuse now, so he's trying to build another program, another black coach. If y'all want to support black coaches out there,
A
you know what
black
I'm
guy
saying.
coming
So
on. We got a black guy in the chat. I mean, on the
I'm
panel.
just saying. We root for everybody black, right? So
I'm rooting for anybody black, bro.
Hey,
Coach Prime, black is different.
hey,
From
Harry,
everybody else's black.
hey, Harry. But look, we both from NYC. We know Syracuse is not it. That's a different part of New York. It's cold as hell. That's not it.
Man, ain't nobody going to Syracuse or
Ain't
Buffalo.
nobody going to you damn near in Canada.
That's crazy.
Ain't
but
nobody
they
going
got
up
a
there, Bridget.
dome. But they got the dome, so they don't have to worry about wearing short sleeves.
That dome cold as hell
God,
too. Don't think they got the heat pumping in there.
They ain't got no dead bodies over there, do they?
I guarantee it's probably snow on the ground in Syracuse right now.
Wow, man. You want snow, you might as well come on to Colorado then.
No, but the snow hit different in New York, bro. That Colorado
is
snow,
different. That upstate New York is different. It's no skyscrapers there. They don't look like Times Square. It's different up that way.
No, I'm talking about the cold level. The level of cold, because you'll
freeze your Achilles off up
Colorado. Bro, you don't want to mess with New York cold. It's different. People wear shorts in Colorado cold. You can't wear shorts with like 30-something degrees here. People wear shorts in Colorado. Nah, you can't mess with no New York cold. It's different.
That's pretty wild.
Syracuse ain't it?
So this King Joseph, man, he had 39 total offers, man. That's crazy.
Yo, hey, you said something about Nick Williams.
Kruger Beats. I'm in Jersey too. I'm from New York, but I'm in Jersey.
Hey, yo, Nick Williams. You said Nick Williams. Did you see that on Instagram?
About him going to Syracuse?
No, y'all were talking about his birthday cards and all that. I wanted to show the people.
Oh, the King Joseph. Yeah, I seen that on his Instagram story. It might be gone by now, but I had seen
Joseph.
Yeah, I had seen it last night, and then his countdown thing is in the CU colors.
Oh, okay.
Like his countdown to commitment.
All right, that's just speculation. I mean, we're going deep into the.
Hey, on Instagram, you can make everything any color you want.
Oh, okay. Is that how it goes?
To have it in the gold, the black, and the white, that's a little crazy to me. When you spent the whole weekend in Syracuse and they said you going to Syracuse.
Yeah, cause he been up there since what, the 11th?
Yeah, he been up there like the whole week.
They gave him the offer on my birthday, man, December the 4th, and he went up there on the 11th.
Yep, he got his countdown for like 4 days up there on the Instagram story.
So to encapsulate what you guys have been talking about, what we've been talking about this entire time, going back to this thing I'm about to put on the screen right here. Okay, the most important aspect of Coach Prime's legacy, I think his legacy starts in 2024. What do you guys say? His legacy starts in 2024, and I think it has to start with him beating Oklahoma State, beating Kansas. If Coach Prime
it start with North Dakota State.
Yeah,
I don't know that it does.
Yeah. It starts in North Dakota State. We gotta stop a mud hole in them boys. Actually, it is the measuring stick because we are 4-18 currently, so we got to stop a mud hole in them in the first game. We can't have no close TCU game.
I'm talking about making a mark. I'm talking about him.
We're gonna make a mark that first game. We're gonna make a mark. Harry, if we lose,
I'll set it up. I'll give it to you. I'm talking about solidification, because whenever Coach Prime does something, the goalpost moves, right? Whenever Coach Prime does something, if you beat North Dakota, the goalpost is going to move with the detractors and the haters. I'm talking about what team does he have to beat for people to say, all right, cool, he all right. You know what I'm saying? Like it got to start with Oklahoma State.
Harry, unfortunately, they're not gonna say that till he win a natty. They're gonna move the goalpost every time.
Okay.
They're not gonna say.
It's not gonna matter. You're saying
it's not gonna matter until he wins a natty. That's how they're gonna talk about it. Look, if he wins 10 games, they're gonna be like, why he wasn't one of the last 4 teams. If he make the playoffs, why didn't he win it? That's how they're gonna.
Hey, Flocka, I also would say this. Also, if say for instance, Prime win a championship.
Hey, somebody got to lower your volume. Somebody's volume is feeding back. If your volume is feeding back, lower your volume. Okay. But go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say this. Also, if he wins a championship, it's going to be another speculation. Oh, can he
What
do
was
it
that?
again? You know what I mean? Can
Oh,
he
okay.
win another one? Then they're gonna start comparing him to Nick Saban. So I
That's
feel like
crazy.
game 4. I'm with you on that, Flock. That game 1. I'm looking for them to come out and dominate, to set the
Cause
tone,
yeah,
set the
because if we
Hey,
have
tone,
a
hey,
close,
listen, that's
and they
not the
playing
official
in Boulder.
schedule.
But game 4 is going to me and it's just my personal opinion, is going to be the test. Game 4.
That's
I
not the
t-
official schedule though. The first 3 games are accurate, but 4 through 12, that's not the exact order. So we don't know what the order is going to look like. But if
You
you want
said
to look at but if you want to go based off a measuring stick, I would say Arizona, Utah, or Kansas State. Those would be the 3 teams that'll let you know if Dion got them boys ready.
And
I'm gonna tell
Oklahoma
you.
State too.
I'm gonna tell y'all my personal opinion, man. Just because I think it's like some inside rivalry, hater beef type stuff. Man, we got to beat the wheels off of Colorado State. That's what we got to
nah,
do.
you know what it is? Jay
that's
Norvell, mad. He not really black. He black, but he like that's the whitest black dude I ever seen in my life.
uh-oh.
Man,
We're slipping.
listen,
And he looked like a
We're
white
going
dude
down a
with a spray
slippery
tan,
slope.
man.
we got to put up 60 on them, and them boys can't get no more than 10 points.
I think that's going to happen though. But I mean, there's some beef that's kind of brewing in the recruiting department because Colorado State they got us on a few pieces. Colorado State is doing their thing in the daggone
No,
transfer portal.
Colorado State isn't going to look as good as they was last year. They're losing that tight end, they losing that receiver, and they losing that defensive end.
Yeah.
Those
Man,
was
we got to
Those
all
are
beat
the
we
X
three
got to beat
main
the
factors.
wheels off
ingredients of
them
their
Those were
team.
those were all X factors in the game we played them. That tight end had 2 receiving TDs. That DN was getting the Shador. He the one that caught the target on Shador, and that
Oh
receiver had like 15 catches.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah.
eating Colorado lunch, and that boy that tight end from BYU, the transfer over to Colorado State, he out of there, but he killed them last year.
So what y'all think about Arizona then?
Let's not move
That's
on
Yeah,
a
yet.
that's
good
what I
I
game.
got,
said.
I
Game
got something
4.
for y'all.
That's a good
Y'all got to
game.
exhaust this. We got to talk about this. Colorado State is doing this in the transfer portal. Y'all see on your screen?
Are they number 1?
Y'all see? They got 16 commits. They got 16-9.
Are they
Y'all
number 1,
don't
Barry?
sleep
I
on these
got some
guys before
pushback on that.
they give us something. Y'all want to sleep. Colorado State gonna come up and beat y'all. Y'all keep playing with Colorado State.
Hey man,
Barry, I
tighten
got
up,
some
man.
pushback. Are they
You
number
got some
1?
pushback. All right, okay, go ahead, push back.
I'm saying, are they number 1? You put this up on the screen about what Colorado State is doing. Are they
Yeah.
bringing in the same caliber players that Dion is bringing over at Colorado?
Absolutely
Well,
not.
they're
To them, it
ahead of
doesn't matter.
Colorado, so that means they're bringing it,
Huh?
if not better, at least the same.
Oh, so they
You
went
said
and picked up them dead bodies that Flock have been talking about.
Shot.
But let's be fair.
Shot.
But let's be fair. If Colorado was ranked ahead of Colorado State, you'd be bragging about that. So you got to keep it fair.
Yeah,
Because
you
if
got to keep it
Colorado was
fair.
ahead of them, you'd be talking about, oh, look at Dion, he bringing them these dogs, yada yada yada. But with Colorado State being ahead, oh, well, are they number 1? You can't move the
wait,
goalposts like that now.
what did
Where's
wait,
that?
wait, what they ahead of us in?
Look at the
In
screen, dude.
recruiting,
Colorado
on the screen just
23,
had put up.
Colorado
What,
State
recruiting like high
69.
school guys?
Come on, stop playing. You trolling right now. Let's keep it fair.
Nah, I don't think that might not be real.
That's a fact.
That might be,
That's a fact. What
He
Flock
right
just
here.
said is a fact.
High school guys?
Yes.
We-
Are those
about the
high school
portal.
guys?
We're talking
we
about the
killing them in
portal.
the port. Look, that's not
We're
that
number
right there is
1.
that yeah, we're number 1. That's not real right there that you just put up. We're not 70. We're number 1 in the portal right now.
Yeah, bro.
Well, look at it. I'm just putting the stats that are out there.
Look, right there is
Go
the
to
overall.
247 Sports.
Right there is the overall for high school and portal. But we're number 1 in portal.
Yes, bro.
This is not real right here. We're not 70.
If we look at the
At
commits,
all.
though, we got 9 commits. They got 16 commits.
Are
That's not real?
they mixing, like Flocka said, are they mixing high school with portal guys?
Nah, that's not real. Look, it got 0 5-stars up there.
Yeah, that can't be high school. That has to be old.
Yeah, that's old. That's
At the
old.
very
Come on
least,
now.
it would have one
Oh, like,
five-star
what year?
receiver.
What do you mean?
I don't know. That might be before Dion got there.
You
No,
need to
I
look at
think that was
2024.
They don't went back.
Yeah, I see right here, man. I transfer rank is number 1. So,
Yeah, portal rank
but
number 1, man. Come on now.
our overall rank is 21.
Yep.
And
Yep.
where's
They moved
Colorado
up
State
in that.
ranking?
Colorado State might be 90, 100 or something. You go.
Yeah, bro. Hey,
Them
they
boys,
not
them boys
fake
ain't,
news?
them boys ain't in our league.
I'm posting fake news.
Yes, bro.
Jay, you gotta
like
fact
Pop.
check that. You gotta fact check that. But yeah, Jay Norvell is it's gonna be worse this year. It's gonna be way worse. He's
So,
gonna get punished.
all right, so okay, so
Especially
who
for
said
what
we gotta
Wifey
give him
said.
60? Was that Q? Q, did you say we gotta give him 60?
No,
Yeah.
we got to put up at least 60, man. We got to
I'm
hold
not-
them boys to at least 10. We got to put up 60. I mean, we got all the weapons coming in, man. If this line do it, I mean, look at it, man. Look at it like this. We're going to a weaker schedule, right?
Yeah.
We had a weak O-line last year. With all of this hype, with the new line that's coming in, it's no reason why we should. And look at the wide receivers we got. I mean, you got to think about it. Even we had a little freshman like Caleb last year, man. I mean, where is he gonna fall out on the depth chart now? Are we still not gonna start him? I mean, what we gonna do with him, man? We got good wide receivers that ain't juniors and seniors, man, and we bringing in more wide receivers as dogs, bro.
You talking about
Plus the
13, Caleb
O-line.
Mathis? You talking about Caleb Mathis?
Yeah, Caleb Mathis, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And we bringing in more dogs to basically play ahead of them steals. I really feel like that's kind of some BS, honestly, man. I feel like some of these guys who stepped up and did what they're supposed to do, they should probably be starting, man, because they show what they can do. I mean, and they're gonna be sophomores next year.
Yeah, guys like what's the name is one I like a little dark.
Amari Cooper.
Dawson. I like Dawson, number 6.
Yeah, I like 14.
He's a little dark horse to me.
I mean, we got the talent, man, and I mean, what they gonna still be backups, man? That's the type of stuff that make them kids transfer out. It's like I stepped up last year. I did all
what if Travis Hunter becomes a backup? Then that means that we're really good.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
Nah, that's a little argument we had the other day.
That's not happening.
Yeah, like, we gonna be that good?
Low key, that's one of Coach Prom's sons. It's not happening. Could you imagine seeing any of his sons?
This guy, they catching bass together.
Come on now. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's not. And look at this. Not only is Travis such a good athlete, look how much money Travis is also bringing in and attention. They might not say it out loud, but Travis and his attention is bringing money to Colorado.
And I'm not gonna lie, he made himself some money doing a video with the dude that injured him. Them NFL teams, they like that character. They like that character.
Yeah. They definitely do. They definitely do.
Are we not
he made a chess move.
Are we not into award season? Does he get a sportsman award or something like that? Or no? Are we not? We're not talking about that.
Nah. Oh, Travis, he can get a sportsman award. That's like the nicest kid on the team.
Yeah,
he should get some type of award, right? For the move that he made with that kid. I was actually, saying that he should get that award, like some type of sportsman award, sportsman of the year award for making that move.
I like to see Travis play 2 sports because that boy can ball too.
Yeah, he might do something on Colorado basketball team. He's going to bench in Colorado.
Over the fact that he's playing both sides of the ball. Please don't go play basketball. You're killing me, man. Stop playing.
He can do it, man. He can do it,
dunking,
man.
all that. He dunking, shooting.
I got an opinion about that, man. Travis is playing both sides of the ball, and I think he's good on both sides. But
I think he's played less offense.
I can't, and see, I was gonna say I can't figure out which side of the ball I would rather him be on, man. Because in a clutch situation, Travis will go up and get it when you really need him, and on defense, he'll catch a pick at any time of the game. It's like it's really hard to say which side of the ball he should play less on. Personally, I would play him more on offense.
I would play him less on offense because just like you said, we got a lot of dogs coming in and a lot of dogs on that bench. And then also it's harder to find a lockdown corner than a good receiver. It's hard.
I'll probably play Travis on 3rd downs on offense. Put it up there to him. Let him go get it. We need it. We need him.
One thing that I think we really need to expound on is the fact that if you make sure that this defense has all the pieces, or even the offense having all their pieces, now those dogs gonna go eat. our outside guys are going to go eat, and they might
Yeah,
eat a lot this year. I think
yeah, they will.
Travis
Everybody
is
gonna
about
eat.
to cook. I think we about to cook. Like I'm telling you, if you strengthen that line up front and they keep rushing, if they can get to the quarterback faster, that rushes the quarterback to have to throw that ball a lot faster. So that makes now Travis and Cooper or whoever is out there, they're about to start eating.
I'm gonna tell
Hey
you what else that's
Harry.
gonna do
Oh,
though. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what you talking about. Flocker touched on that earlier.
Uh-huh.
If you got them dogs coming off that line and they getting pressure on that quarterback
Yeah.
and you got Carmoney on the other side, that's
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
where I feel like Carmoney is really going to shine.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Yes,
that's
sir.
when if these guys got the football IQ like we think they have, that's going to matter because they're going to be able to have that twitch. The ball is coming out much faster, so which means they're going to have to make a break on the wide receivers quicker and
Yep.
have that twitch. That's that football IQ. See, that could be a gift and a curse, right? Because the wide receivers are going to be used to that ball coming out fast because they're going to practice fast, right? The other teams, right? So our
Hmm.
defense has gotten complacent with having time to sit back there and watch where the quarterback's going to throw it because we wouldn't get no pressure, right? But now,
Mm-hmm.
if you putting a lot of pressure on that quarterback and he got to get it out faster, everybody
Mm-hmm.
knows when it comes to football, the quarterback don't throw it to the wide receiver; they throw it to where he's supposed to be at,
Hmm.
Yep.
right? So. And only the wide receiver knows where that route is supposed to break at, where he's supposed to be. The cornerback don't really know unless you play both ways, like Travis. He knows where that route is supposed to break, right?
Also,
But everybody's not going to know that. So only people like Travis is going to have a big advantage on that quarterback getting that ball out faster. You see what I'm saying? It could hurt the other guys, but help the guys like Travis or the Kwamani if their IQ is really that high.
Mm-hmm.
also, Travis got the ability to bait the quarterback. Man, the
That
interception
too.
against TCU and UCLA, he baited the quarterback, switched off. He was basically D'ing two people.
He
Well,
showed
Switched
see,
off,
did.
caught the.
and that's why I say the quarterback had so much time that Travis was able to go with his receiver, right, and then bait the other guy. So he was able to come back because the quarterback had so much time. Now with not that much time, he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to choose what you gonna do. You got to play your wide receiver or you got to play, you know what I'm saying, like a zone. Because now the quarterback got to get it out so much faster. It's going to be harder to bait that quarterback because he don't have that much time to stand back there in the pocket to be baited. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think
So
it makes it easier though. I think it makes it easier because you can tell he
c-
about to get rid of that ball because he's
I
being
think it's.
yeah,
I
rushed.
think it's going to help also because when you throw a
Yeah,
quarterback out of rhythm, oh
right.
man,
It makes it
it's
easier
ducks
for
coming
the
out.
for the
It's ducks
DBs.
coming out. They not throwing it to where the receiver need to be no more. They throwing it behind them, here, there. So I
Just trying
think,
to
no,
make
yeah,
that's
something
true.
happen.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
you.
So look, let's touch on Colorado offense real quick, man. I don't know. I've had this debate with a couple people, man, about Jimmy, and
Yeah.
About
I,
what?
I
Slippery hands.
man,
Oh
listen
God,
though,
stop it,
but
stop it.
listen though,
He my
Jimmy.
man though. I fuck with Jimmy.
Jimmy will catch a touchdown for you in a minute, right? But
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
Hey,
this
hey, hey, no
this is
no
my
f bombs. I don't get paid if you cuss.
Oh, my
okay.
bad.
So listen, Jimmy to me, they need to run him on better routes. Jimmy should be running cross routes,
Yep,
like short digs. He should be
yep,
running bubble screens. You know,
yep.
quick stuff, man. Because he's really fast. I mean, if he catch the ball, he's going to outrun anybody who's in front of him.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
fact.
But you got to get it to him quick and get it to him underneath. I mean, he'll take the top off or something too, right? But I don't think
Hmm.
Jimmy has a really fast first step. I think he has good top end speed and he'll outrun you. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's a
But
fact.
I think you need to get the ball in Jimmy's hands right now. You run some quick screens to him. The same thing with Dylan Edwards. They need to be doing the same thing. I mean, I don't think Jimmy and Dylan Edwards is too far off from being almost the same type of players. They're really fast. They can catch, but they're not for sure hands. You know what I mean? You could kind of do the same thing with both of those players. But I think Jimmy is more seasoned and he has a better body to take hits
Yep,
coming across the middle. Because everybody knows you come across the middle, you might get killed. And
yep.
that's just the way it is. But I think Jimmy has a good, strong physical body for that. And I think you need to hit him short. Hit him short, hit him quick, hit him in stride right now so he don't have to stop or slow down. because the boy top end speed is up there.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
Okay,
I
can I?
got. Let me get this question out there. While you're we're talking about this topic, we can throw this in there as well. Y'all man wants to know. We need to define the word dogs because he says so far only 2 to 3 from the portal may be yes. The rest are just numbers. Did the narrative change for dogs also? So are we talking? Are we just crazy here talking? Are we just excited fans and we don't really understand what dogs mean? Because we don't
must
want to
not
be
be going back
delusional
and
and
looking at
sell a
their film.
message of we got a bunch of dogs coming, but we only got like 2 or 3 guys, and we're gonna start losing because we're sitting there just getting too excited.
Is Yard Man going back looking at some of the film that
Oh,
on
gosh.
some of the people that Dion is bringing in? Because that's what I'm doing, and some of them I'm familiar with because I just watch football like that. But I would tell him to go back and look at some of the film on some of these players that are coming in, and
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 even
and, and look at their stats.
and even if they haven't done it yet, some people definitely got the potential to be a dog.
See, and that's the thing, man. If you might can get say a third string player from Georgia or Alabama, right?
Mhm.
Okay, but that's because they got 5-star first and second string players, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
he may not be a dog over there, but on Colorado, he gonna be a big dog. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Like
Hold on,
So
hold
Xavier
on now.
Weaver. Like Xavier
right,
Weaver.
But you
right,
hold on, you talking about Alabama players now. They had Demore Kennedy and
yep.
Jacquez Robinson come from Alabama. Neither one of them really saw a lot
But
of
they
real
both got
playing
hurt
time.
though. I think.
No, I think Demoy had some issues when he first came in, but Robinson just couldn't get legit playing time. I think he got hit one of those games.
Robinson to me seemed a little childish. Honestly, I watched a lot of videos on him. He didn't seem that mature, but he did have a couple good plays when he was out there. But I just don't think mentally he was grown up enough for the
I
pressure
give
they
you
was
that.
getting put in.
So
And
X
then
Men
a
from
lot of
South
these dogs
F.
that he bringing in, they seen a lot of football.
Right?
Some of them, some of them are not a lot. You know, what I mean, these are seasoned guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
X Men says from South Africa says dog is a spirit. It's not a star thing. It's an energy. Shador wasn't 5-star, but he plays like a 5-star. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Dylan wasn't
Yeah.
Yep.
5-star, but he plays like it because he's a dog, etc.,
Exactly.
etc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
a
So
That's what
dog
that.
is somebody who has the attitude and the fortitude and a lot of other tudes, right, to go out there and get it done. He ain't necessarily got to be no 4 or 5-star. He just
Yeah.
got to have the mindset that I'm gonna go get it done, and I don't care who's in front of me. I'm getting it done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
a dog is that's a play after play after play after play. I'm giving it all I got. You know what I'm saying? Play after play after play after play after play. We're
And
gonna
see, that's
we're
what
gonna we're gonna
Benson,
fight it out.
yeah, and that's what Benson talked about in his interviews. And he was talking about how it starts in practice. He was like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fight in practice every day.
mm,
Hmm.
Whoever's lining up on the opposite side, you're gonna want to be better because I'm gonna bring my A game
come
every
on now.
snap.
Ooh, I
See,
like it.
that's just like, man, that's like when I play ball, man. I play with a lot of guys who felt like I'm gonna include myself. I'm gonna be faster than everybody. I'm gonna be stronger than everybody. I'm gonna jump the highest. I'm gonna talk the meanest. I'm gonna act the meanest. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like a lot of kids now have that same attitude because
Mm,
it's all about I'm just gonna look the best. I'm gonna be the cleanest. I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
different type of attitude now. It ain't the same attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like they not
I'm
they
gonna wear
not
my
mean.
sleeves. Mm,
You know what I mean? They're
That's why I
not
said
mad.
that gritty. That
You know what I
gritty.
mean? Like
That grit.
back in the day, man, when you played against somebody, you was mad at them for no reason.
No
You know what I
reason.
mean? And
Put
it's
something
like,
in
you
right,
were
even your
Draymond Green.
teammates.
Mm,
Yeah, you was out there doing kung fu, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Draymond Green. But no, seriously, man, you really felt like it was nobody that you gonna let take your spot. You even felt like you was better than the kicker if you didn't even kick the ball.
I
You know what I
remember
mean?
I remember I was in Pop Warner at corner lined up talking about receivers' mothers and all types of stuff, man.
Yeah, it was it
look
was
at
just
you.
it was different, man. It was a different type of dog, you know what I'm saying, back then, man. It's not the same no more. You know what I mean? You don't see these kids out there really that mad. They don't see this what and it's like I tell my son all the time. It's different because when I play ball, I was mad at stuff that I couldn't get. Right now, kids growing up, everybody got a PlayStation 5 right when they want it. They got the new iPhone. They got everything they want now given to them. They living really good lives now. All the parents living in suburbs
That's
now.
a good point.
It's not like how it used to be back in the day where you had to like eat, fight, and you like, man, I gotta make it playing football. That's the only way I'm getting my mama out of here.
Can I
Now,
can I
kids already out of there. They just
can I
playing
ask a
just
quick
because they like
question?
it. Yeah.
All
Can
right,
I
Phil,
ask
go
a quick
ahead.
question to that point? And what was your name, the gentleman that was talking?
Q, that's Q.
Quincy. Yep.
Q. Okay, so I don't know if you heard earlier, but we were talking about like tradition and like having pride in the program and whatnot. Do you think that if more kids had pride in the name that was on the front of the jersey, you know what I'm saying? Do you think they would be more dogs and like really go out there and fight and really
I
want it? Or do you think because now it's like NIL, it's all about me, kids don't really care too much to have that pride for the school and for their family? It's all
I
about the
think
money.
I think kids are forgetting because they already get money so early. I think that kids are forgetting that it's a blessing to be able to even get to the level of playing college football to get the opportunity to make it to the next level.
Right.
They're looking at it like I'm supposed to be here instead of like, man, somebody else could have been here, but I'm a dog and I gotta still continue to eat every day. And I'm still the fastest, I'm still the strongest, I'm still the meanest and the toughest. Kids don't have I don't feel like they have that mindset and mentality no more. They feel like they deserve stuff too much now instead of feeling like I gotta work hard and better and harder than the next man. Or it's so I tell my son all the time. I coached him the last 3 years, right? I tell my son all the time, if you don't do your job, son, somebody else will. If you don't do your job, where you gonna be at? On the bench. And some of these kids are forgetting that, man. It costs us a money thing now. So they come in and they getting that money, which I will say this also I'm glad they can get their money now, right? Because you don't know when you're going to get hurt. You don't know if you're going to make it to the next level. So it's a good thing they can get their money now, but it's also a curse because it kills that drive and that passion to stay hungry and to want to eat that man up in front of you to get to the next level.
So is it the kids' fault? I mean, can you blame some of these kids because it's like the
Nah,
environment is the environment that has been created that they have to play into because now we have Martin Luther Kings, we have Malcolm X's, we've had like people that in our past have been hungry to see that change, but now that we've gotten the change, now we're living in an environment where we don't even fight anymore. We don't
the
even march
parents.
anymore.
I
So
think that's
it's
that's
the
the parents.
environment that we're in now. So how do we deal with? You can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't create an environment just so you can say, okay, let me go and act in this environment. If the
Right.
environment is already there, then how do you deal with that environment and become a
I
dog?
think
Because nobody
I
cares
think
anymore.
I think us as parents has made our kids soft. That's what I think.
How do
I
we do
don't
that?
think I think we because we've sheltered them so much and we give them everything they want right away.
Yeah, I
We
can
don't
agree with that.
we're not punished the same way. I don't that's like man, I don't go outside now. Man, listen,
Is it
my brother
circumstantial? Isn't it circumstantial?
it
Because
is. But this is what I think. I think people like me, I'm just gonna speak for myself. I grew up with nothing. It was all tore up, it was all bad, right? So I
but that's
was mad.
only because your parents didn't have it.
Right. So I was mad every day. But now I got stuff. And now my son got everything. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I can't really and also kids used to be out back, might break their collarbone playing football in the road. Might be out there riding a bike and hit a wheelie on it and or something and flip over the handlebars and get hurt. You don't see that outside no more. So
Yeah, they
kids
on the
ain't they're not,
iPad now.
yeah, they're not doing the same thing we used to do back in the day to make them tough. You know what I'm saying? You might be 10 years old out there playing football with 14 and 15-year-olds. You don't see that no more. So, you know what I mean? You just don't see that no more. It's not the same. Kids is they're not growing up the same. I'm not gonna say all of them, but
But
a
that's what
lot
I'm
of them are
saying.
not growing up the
For
same.
Q, for Q, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so when the environment changes, the the attitude and everything comes with that environment changes. When we used to
Yeah,
be outside, when we in our environment or where we grew up, we understood that when the light came on, it's time to go inside because of our environment. You see what I'm saying? So when the
yeah.
environment changed, can you blame the product of that environment?
Oh no, no, you can't blame it because you want your kids to be better than you were. and you want them to have a better life than you did. But we have to find a way in order to channel that energy. 'Cause everybody know if their kid is going to be a dog or not. You can see it in them, right? So you have to find a way to pull that out of them. Otherwise, it's just going to be suppressed. And it's like, when are they going to get that real dog pulled out of them? They might be good, but you can see that they got that dog in them. So you got to figure out a different way, because they're not going to get it from the environment they're in no more. So you got to figure out a way to pull it out of them.
So then bringing this full circle around Coach Prime, is that where Coach Prime is getting a lot of his frustration from? Because he's an old school guy, like he always says, he's old school, right? And he's being frustrated with the work ethics. I think I put up one of the shorts where he was like, you know what I'm saying? Where he was like, yo, I can't be a coach no more because because I don't like lazy kids. Kids not coming on time, coming late, or even showing up a little bit right before we start. And we've already started 15 minutes early. Is that where a lot of maybe the disconnect is coming from, where you got a bunch of kids who are the privilege of being in a great environment where there's money now, but now you're dealing with an old school dude who never had the money. He don't even know your situation. He over here trying to give you values and things that you're like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, my mom is not, we live in the hood, but I got stuff. What are you talking about, bro? Is there a disconnect where the old school guys are really wrestling with the fact that these new school kids are like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. My 8-year-old,
a lot of kids
saying words I don't even know.
A lot of kids nowadays they feel entitled.
Yeah,
but it's their fault. I'm trying to dial it in, guys.
No, it's not their fault.
Is it their fault? Can we blame them? Because we don't. Okay, I'll ask you all old heads, y'all over here trying to talk about these kids, right? Let me ask all of y'all old head people here, right? How many of y'all have been pressing and right? How many of y'all have really been doing Martin Luther King type of work? How many of y'all are still fighting for your community? How many of y'all are going out there and doing what those old school guys did when they were fighting for us to get what we got right now? We on these kids. What about us?
Well, we don't have. It's not the same problems no more. It's not the same problem issues no more.
One at a time. Yo, let's let Phil talk because he hasn't said anything in a minute.
Yo, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna say this real quick, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I respect what you're saying about fighting for the culture. However, if Dion was really about that life, he would have stayed at Jackson because he would have. Hear me out. No, you're right. Hey, but I ain't gonna take my eyeball out though. Trust me.
Go ahead, Phil.
No, but
he's our token black guy on the panel.
No, but check me though. But think about it. If Dion would have stayed at Jackson,
somebody's volume is very loud. It's feeding back.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. But if Dion stayed at Jackson, he would have had more of an impact on the economy and the lives of black people at Jackson State than he does at Colorado. So if you really want to talk about that reaching down and looking out for the people, he would have had a bigger impact at Jackson State than he does right now at Colorado. That's just how I see it. But I respect him because God said he had to move, so he had to move. So it is what it is.
Why you keep poking that bear, bro?
He said it, not me.
You can't blame him for trying to elevate a little bit, and then
not at all.
Wasn't Jackson State doing something funny with the money? Like you can say Dion want to elevate. You could say Dion should have stayed in.
There's a lot of pushback. Whose volume is that?
You could.
Yeah,
everybody lower your volume.
Somebody's volume is high.
Yeah, everybody lower your volume.
You could have said, yeah, he stayed back. He could have impacted, but them black folks ain't want him in the swag. What that other coach said, he not swag. He pushed him off. Like what he had done that to a white coach.
But Dion ain't swag though. If we're being fair, he's not.
He ain't swag because he got pushed out the swag.
But to your point, okay, they didn't want him. But I'm just saying, when you talk about you got to call in to look out for your people, and then you want to talk about they don't like seeing a black man get comfortable. I'm trying to uplift black people. I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. You have a greater impact at a place like Jackson than you would at Colorado for black people. And if you look at it, let's be fair. I'm only going to speak the truth with this.
All right,
Phil, the two coordinators on his team are what? White. He doesn't have two black coordinators. All the position coaches can be black, but when it comes to the two most important positions after the head coach, the offensive and defensive coordinator, those are white men that have those positions. Is that a true statement?
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
true
they had.
statement, but I had
Okay.
some pushback. Who am I talking? Who is this, Eric?
This is Phil.
I'm
This
Phil.
is Phil.
Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, Phil. Are you the one that went to Grambling?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I graduated from Southern, so you already know we rivals.
Hey,
But
hey,
anyway,
it's all love. It's all love.
yeah,
God
it's
bless
all
you.
up. But
I think the
likewise,
white people just left the building, so we gotta, go ahead, guys.
oh, okay.
Go ahead.
But how when it comes to Deion Sanders and the HBCU, just to touch on it just a little bit, how can you want something that don't want you back?
Mm.
Um, he
You
he
heard what they played when he got released. If you
he
want to
he
go, baby.
he us is I feel like us as African American race, we feel like a person should come and
Take
just,
less.
yes, exactly that word. So um he's bringing so much money into the community. He we already both know about HBCUs and how they run and how they operate, how they handle their money and everything. But most of these larger schools, like he's trying to lay out this blueprint that some of the Power Five schools use on an HBCU level, but they're not buying into it. That's the thing. They want to HBCUs want to take, but they don't want to pour back into it. They rather take that money and disperse it throughout the rest of the things that's going on around campus, like the band and all that. Just to touch on what we was talking about earlier. When you come to HBCU, if you're going to Grambling, if you're going to PB, if you're going to Southern, people are coming there to see the halftime show with the bands, and after that, they get up out their seat and they leave.
Yeah.
And is that fair to say?
That's a fair statement. Cause look, I was at the Bayou Classic this year, and I was up
After
walking around the
halftime,
whole game. Yeah.
exactly. And you graduated from a HBCU. I do the same thing.
Right.
So if he pouring money in, and he in the we know the people at the head, they want to drive the Rolls Royce and they want to drive the Lambo car and stunt around. I'm being 100% and stunt around campus, but they don't really care nothing about the school, the way the dorms or the football facilities. We got schools out here in the Dallas area that got better facilities, workout facilities than majority of the HBCUs and
Oh
probably
yeah.
Better than
some of these Power
Colorado.
Five.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like
Uh-oh, X-Men
we've
ready to
seen the
dial in.
document, huh?
Y'all got this topic buzzing now. Everybody want to call in. Go
Hey,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead. I'm gonna let somebody else have the floor.
That's cause this is real talk. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's about to get heavy, but I haven't even said what I got to say yet. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Go ahead, Harry.
So okay, so the whole idea of this this topic that we're talking about, it goes a lot deeper than what people, because people stay on the surface. Remember what I told y'all? What did I say? The question I posed to y'all is, why are we getting on these kids? But we got to look in the mirror too. Remember? Because are you
Right.
telling me that there's no more Martin Luther Kings? Are you telling me there's no more Malcolm X's in our community? The thing that we're requesting from these young men, we can look at ourselves and say we fell off too, because we're not fighting like they fought for us, because the environment that they were in, the slaves did something happened to the slaves. Then from that, we started getting people to fight for us, to say, okay, if we don't have voting rights, let's fight for voting rights. If we don't have X, Y, and Z, let's go fight for that, right? Now, as we go on into society, the more modern society, things that are available to us, we are millionaires now. We get a lot of money now. We get a lot of things happening for us. So we're relaxed now. We're like, we ain't got to do that no more. If Reverend Al comes up with a march, we're not going no more. I'm not marching for nothing. So our environment right? Our environment has allowed us to be more relaxed and not be such a dog on the fighting field anymore, because now we got things. We ain't got to worry no more. So that's what our environment have created. The environment that Martin Luther Kings were in, that was the pressure that was on them. We don't have those pressures anymore. So we got to look at ourselves. So now, if we flip it back to these young men that are coming on these teams, we keep saying, oh, they're soft now. Oh, they're not like we used to be. Oh, la da 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 da. But it's their environment. Their environment doesn't. They got money now. Why am I fighting for my mom? My mom ain't struggling. What you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You're old school guy, bro. You fought for your mom because she ain't got nothing. I got something. So what am I fighting for?
I guess that's that 15% that Dion, when he said in that press conference, about 85% has brought in to believing. So I guess the 15% jumped in the transfer portal. So he's bringing in that 15% that he sees, that believes, and
he ain't looking for that 85%. He want that 15%.
Yeah, he want that 15%. And then I have a question for you, Harry. You know, nowadays, and it's just my personal opinion, but I'm only going to talk to kids that want to listen.
Facts.
You got a lot of them out here that don't want to listen. They know it all. Go ahead, push back. I can
want you to finish.
So how do you reach those that don't even have a desire to want to listen? Because you nowadays kids, they think that they know more than you.
I think they know everything.
And they know everything. And like I tell my kids all the time, and well, my only son, hey, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I'm a mile down the road. Are you it's a pothole down here. You need to move over to the left. He can choose to move to the left or not, or he can fall right into that hole.
I got something to say, if you don't mind. But go ahead.
I'm sticking to that old
here's the pushback. All right, Tim. Here's the pushback.
Okay.
During and this is a topic that I've been fighting, trying to start another channel, but I don't know the interest. But this is a topic I'm very astute on. Somebody's volume is very loud. It's like the feedback is getting louder and louder. Everybody lower your volume. So, but this is how I look at it, right? There were people who were not listening. Like a lot of us, we were knuckleheads during the times of the people that was fighting for us. A lot of us were knuckleheads. A lot of our parents were knuckleheads. We were the same people that those people were fighting for. And if they said, hey, let's go do this so that we can better the community, a lot of our parents were the pushbackers, were the lazy ones. They didn't want to get up and go march. They didn't want to get up and go fight. They didn't want to do all of that. I'm just trying to keep my job. So keep in mind, there's a lot of us who are around here where we were the ones that were pushing back, or we were the ones that just said, listen, man, I got my family to feed. I ain't got time for all that crap you're trying to do. Okay? The white man, he gave me a good job, so I'm good. You go ahead and go fight. I'm trying to keep my job for me and mine. All right? So let's not make it seem like, oh, all of our parents and all of us were out there fighting a good fight. Okay? So so they still had to do what they had to do, even though we weren't listening. So when you say, I only talk to people that listen, if somebody gives up on you because you don't listen, the only reason why I'm talking like this is because I have kids that are so hard-headed, right? If we say I'm not talking to the kids that don't listen, then we're leaving behind a generation of kids who are hard-headed, and we know a lot of us are hard-headed, and it was because somebody didn't give up on us that we came along eventually.
Your boy Harry preaching.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, Harry. But you got kids, you got parents that want to be kids, and you got kids that want to be the adults.
Facts.
So
well, that's cause some of these parents, man, want to be their kids' friend too much more than they want to be their parent.
Exactly. And I stick to that old playbook. I don't shy away from it because it made me the man that I am today.
But how do we mix the old school with the new school and with the understanding that comes with it? And we can't be this hard on kids where their environment, because if I look at us, I'm like, wait a minute, we're not doing what what the requirement was from these other guys. If a lot
But
of us
Harry,
would talk to Al Sharpton, let me finish my thought. If a lot of
but
us would talk to the Al Sharpton and all these other people, and we're like, yo, we're too relaxed and we're too calm nowadays, then we will understand where these kids are too. They are mimicking our behavior. It's no different from us. They're mimicking our behavior. If we take a fine comb and look at it closely, they're literally mimicking our behavior. Because the Martin Luther Kings came alive today, they will ask questions. It's been 20, 40 years. Where are the next Martin Luther Kings? You're too comfortable.
but if
We're too
Dion,
comfortable because
it,
our environment gave us that comfortability, and we're just a product of our environment. So now what about us? What if the Rosa Parks would come back today? What would they be telling us if we were to look in the mirror? What would they say to us? Because we love to pick on those kids. We love to pick on those kids. But what about us? If the Rosa Parks came back, if the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's came back, what would they say to us individually?
but what happened to Colin Kaepernick when he kneeled? Look at what happened to Colin Kaepernick. That was a perfect example of you don't have the power you think you have. We got the power.
The chat is saying you guys got to use headphones or lower your volume because they're saying like the feedback is getting hard.
Yeah, I'm using headphones myself.
I'm using headphones too because somebody got to lower your volume, guys.
If you look at what happened with Colin Kaepernick, they let you know right now. You can believe what you want to believe, but when you start talking, we'll take all your money. We'll take your future. We'll take your career from you. So why would a guy from high school that hadn't even had a chance to build his career be willing to take that risk? I'm not saying they shouldn't take that risk, but what I am saying is I can understand why somebody who's 16, 17, 18 years old, who's not willing to burden that load to fight for their people. You know what I'm saying? And Dion, he says he has a calling to, touch young men. Pause. So I think, he knows what his job is. So his job is to go into these houses and get mom and dad to believe in him and to buy into what he's trying to do at CU. But if I'm a recruit coming out of high school, regardless of what I believe in, I don't care if my mom and dad in the Black Panther Party. I'm gonna sit down and shut up and do what I gotta do to make this money. And then when I make a little bit of money, then I'll start talking that talk and being about it. Unfortunately, I think that's where most kids' mindsets are right now.
So you spoke about Colin Kaepernick, and that's somebody that I actually I was in the forefront when he started doing what he's doing because I had a viral shirt. I made a shirt that went viral because I designed shirts too. I was all over that. I was in New York when they came out there to do their speech when they had the whole gathering. The NFL did that thing at the when they did that thing downtown Manhattan at the NFL joint. I was there with the shirts. So the idea of what Colin Kaepernick did, if we look at that and that fear, that puts a fear in us from mobility. If that says to you, if it sends a personal message to you and say, well, look at Colin Kaepernick. He tried to stand up for us, and and we were split. If that's the case, then guess what? A lot of the leaders that we had back in their day, they would not do what they were doing because they had opposition too. They had black opposition. So, but guess what? It's the establishment, the powers that be will pay people. I mean, look at the daggone Candace Owenses. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like the powers that be will pay people to go against their own people. You would get people that look like you to talk against you. Okay? So it's like you can't be afraid of what may happen because then you're cherry picking on what you're gonna do. What is really important to you?
Everybody ain't got that calling though. Everybody don't have that calling. You know what I'm saying? Like just being real.
I will agree with that. If it's not a calling for you, if everybody's not that strong, then I will agree that maybe is probably what the thing is.
And everybody's not willing to take that risk.
Yep.
That's a huge risk versus.
Hey, Q, that's your volume. When I unmute you, it comes back. So Q, that's your volume.
Okay.
Oh, that was Q's volume. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, people not willing to take that risk. Deion Sanders, he's on a different platform Uh, but I I feel like it's certain things that he wouldn't say
Mm-hmm.
because, like the gentleman said a few minutes ago, gave the example about Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's people that are higher than uh than us at the highest level. Like, and I feel like,
Well, what do you mean? Break that down, because what does that mean?
well, what I feel like, certain people won't say certain things
Mm-hmm.
because they trying to keep their job. They may
Stephen
say
A.
it in the community to everybody else, but they're mindful of what they say, what platform they say it on, and how they word it because they know that it can cost them their job,
A lot.
which is what feeds their family. So I feel like
So let's
that,
bring it. Let's bring it 360 then.
huh?
If that's what I'm saying, so let's bring it 360. So if we're
Mhm.
talking about, because I'm trying to keep it football, right? If we're
Mhm.
saying we're tying this in to like people understanding, to people understanding the idea of what is important, because we are requiring a lot of these young men, right? That's
Correct.
that that's the energy that we're bringing to them. Is, oh, you're not a dog, you're just doing it for the money. Oh, you're not this, you're just doing it for the money. But what is the difference from that person who's trying to feed their family, who's not trying to lose their job, or who's trying to make sure they get something now? Because we all know that you can get hurt in football and then you out of here, right? So if somebody's trying to get something now and we keep putting that pressure on them and saying, well, you're all about the money, then isn't that the same conversation we're having about people being afraid for their job? That's not the same thing. It's not the
But
equivalent.
I feel like Dion has a highest
T-
level.
oh, your voice went out. Say that again. Your audio
I
went
feel
out.
like Dion has achieved a lot of things at the highest level. So him relating to kids, young men, I can't say kids, young men.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he he understands them, and I feel like some of them understands him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so he can get them to buy in to what he's selling.
Okay.
But how would someone like me or you get them same young men to buy in?
So the idea of a coach, right? Like, okay, we're trying to equate this to like, okay, what is the Coach Prom's old school values, trying to get these young men to do certain things, and then we're putting pressure on them and saying, well, when Coach Prom played the game, it wasn't about money, it wasn't about this, and then understanding how they get to where they're at. We are the product of our environment, the changes that have been made by Martin Luther King, by so many different people, right? The changes that have been made, we became a product of that environment. Now, if we take it to college football and we say, oh, look at the college football today. Yesterday, boosters giving you money, like LeBron James got jerseys and all of those things, they got him into trouble. But nowadays, it's okay. You can get as many jerseys as you want. You can get as much money as you want. So
Terrell
these kids are
Pryor
taking a
also.
Right. So these kids are taking advantage of the environment that have been created for them. But for some reason, we old heads, we always saying, well, you should do like we did. We didn't care. But why should it not care when we don't care? Because now we're in a new environment that we're acting in based upon what the people that came before us allowed us to be. So they're just being a product of their environment that was created for them, because before you couldn't do it, now you can. So why shouldn't they take the money? Why shouldn't they say, "Yo, I'm doing what I got to do"?
Yo, I got a 17-year-old nephew, and he
Uh-huh.
plays football. And one of the things that I've kind of realized from being around him and seeing his friends is like a lot of black kids today aren't
Mm-hmm.
tapped into quote unquote the struggles. So
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? So they got white friends that they can hang out with and they'll let them use the N word for whatever
Yep.
reason.
Yep.
or they don't understand. Like I got a 7-year-old son, and he calls it the olden days. But he brought up one day that he was like, so you're saying that I couldn't have been friends with one of my friends in school in the olden days? I was like, yeah. I was like, in the quote unquote olden days, you would have went to your own high school. You know what I'm saying? You would have went to your own school just for black kids, and the white
Mhm.
kids would have went to their own school. And I think guys coming up, they not really tapped into that, so they don't understand what the struggle was like and what we came through. So they don't care. They just trying to they trying to get there. They're trying to make sure mama's straight. They're trying to make sure grandmama's straight. So nobody's out here trying to really make a difference or make a stand on something. So I don't think you're gonna see any kids coming up, especially out of high school, try to make a stand for anything. At the most, they may say, "Oh, well, I want to go to Dion because he's a coach that looks like me." But other than like actually like kneeling for the flag or like standing up for police reform or anything like that, I don't think you're gonna see that happen anytime soon.
But should we give them more leverage, or should we give them a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, break? Should we cut them a break? Because what I'm trying to look in the mirror. I'm always trying to look in the mirror. What am I not doing that I'm trying to put some pressure on somebody else to do? Should we give them more of a break for the fact that they are in a new environment where things are okay for them now? And I look at myself and say, well, I'm in a new environment, and yeah, because what these guys did for me, what they were able to do, now I'm a little bit more relaxed. I don't have to deal with or even tap into anything that they were doing. I can live free. I can just be by myself. I can say, y'all go ahead and y'all go march. Should we give them more of a break now because we are not? Because can we blame them? Because we create that environment. We are the older generation creates the environment for the next one, right? What we allow is what they're going to be able to tap into, right? If we fight for it today, they have access to it tomorrow. Isn't that how it goes?
I mean, that's valid, but uh, Martin Luther King, I use him as an example. They Reverend Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, etc. I can go down the list, but they marched. Here it is, 2022. They still marching. So what have changed? Even I just heard you say that I could do what I want to do. I can walk around freely and all that. That's good and dandy, but in reality, are you free?
I decide that. I decide
Hmm?
how free I want to be. I decide that by educating my brain, by making sure that I'm
Right.
well educated and I'm knowledgeable about the things that I'm surrounded by making sure that I understand voting, even though I'm not a citizen of the country. I
Hmm.
understand that my wife and the people that are around me that can vote, I educate them on, hey man, you got the right to vote. This is the person, here are the people that we should look at, that we should vote for, and here are some of the issues that we are dealing with in this community. You know what I'm saying? So at least I play my part in that way, because there are certain things that I can't do because I'm not a citizen, but it doesn't mean that I can't educate myself to be free. The only way you're free is how much education you allow yourself to have. That's freedom. Freedom isn't just like, oh, okay, police can't do this or the country can't do that. I know my rights. That's not freedom. Freedom is how much information you know.
Right. Knowledge is power. And
And that's essentially freedom.
right. So flipping it on the football side, like Dion, like I said, I feel like he's in a position, and the way kids operate nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
they trust people. Seem like they trust the ones with all the flash and all of them, then had the big houses, the nice cars, and played in the NFL, rappers, NBA players, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But they giving them the same knowledge that me and you were trying to give them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they don't trust it from our perspective, but they'll trust it from someone like Coach Prime or Jay Z or LeBron James.
Right.
Yeah, I think like I said, Dion is tapped in on social media, you know what I'm saying, with what the kids are doing these days. But I think you got to look at it and weigh your options. Like, how important is it for me to make a stand on social injustice, racial injustice, police reform, whatever that thing is that you want to talk about? How important is that to me versus my job? And that's why I bring up Colin Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when he started kneeling, he didn't realize the impact it was going to have on his job. Once he did start kneeling, and we saw the impact that it had, and the fact that he was still willing to do it, let me know that, okay, like, you're about their life. It's only so many
Right.
people that are really quote unquote about their life right now. So I don't even think that's something that we should be putting on the kids to try to to try to do or to try to make a change. I think it's on us to try to impart that knowledge on them, as best we possibly can. Because there's a quote that I saw that I like. It said, "Blessed are those who plant trees under
Mm,
whose shade they will never sit." So basically, everything we're fighting for right now, we won't get to enjoy, but our kids will. And I think
mm,
people in our age range, because I'm almost 40, people in our age range, people that are a little bit older, the things that they're fighting for, they're not going to get to reap the benefits of it. But
right.
preferably, our kids, nieces, nephews, godsons, goddaughters, they'll be able to enjoy some of the benefits from what we fought for. So I think that's where Dion is right now. I don't think he's trying to create the next MLK or Huey P. Newton or anything like that.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good place to end it because we could have gone into we could have stayed on the Jackson State situation and try to like dissect why he did this and why he did that. But I think there's a bigger thing here going on, a bigger a bigger thing that we need to understand. And I think Coach Prime, at a certain extent, he's still trying to figure it out himself. He's still trying to listen to God and whatever God has for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, God, why do you have me here? What is it that you want to accomplish through my presence here? And it's being revealed in time. And we got to give him a little bit of grace to allow God to work through his life and stop. Now we got to, like somebody said earlier, it's time to let go of the hurt from Jackson State. We got to let go of that hurt and let God work. All right. I
Hey,
think
can I say
that's a
this
good.
real quick,
Yes.
Harry? And
Mm-hmm.
he's still doing good work. He's still giving kids from HBCUs a chance. Like they talked about the tight end coming from Grambling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
talked about, he's still bringing coaches over from Jackson State, like
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't really get a chance
Yeah.
if he was not in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Y-
still doing the Lord's work.
Yep. And so, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. Just to touch on it. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. With Prom coming over like that, man, I think that also creates a pipeline for these coaches to come up and for these kids, the ones who really shine over the HBCUs, who just maybe didn't have the grades or didn't get a chance or just didn't have the money to go to one of these PWIs. I think that gives them a chance also just to have a pipeline with Coach Prime to be able to be pulled up if they stand out that much far as coaching and players and be able to get on a bigger stage later. You see what I'm saying? So I can't necessarily say that him leaving Jackson State was really bad to the HBCUs, man, because it can help people, which is already helping them. It's showing right now that him leaving wasn't just all bad because he's able to use his platform and bring kids and players up.
And we also forget the fact that we still talking about Jackson State. The fact that we're still every time he does something good, his name will always be linked to Jackson State. So how many times were people talking about Jackson State like that before he got there and after he left? So his impact is still being felt. So yeah, I agree that we got to let go. We got to let it go and let God work because what's happening for Jackson State is a good thing. The fact that he left and now he's on a bigger stage, the stage is so big now it gets to the news. Every little thing he does gets to the national media. The dude can sneeze and they'll say former Jackson State coach Deion Sanders just sneezed. You see what I'm saying? So Jackson State is still winning no matter what. So I think it's time to let that hurt go and just start praying that, he does good work so that he can pull other people up. Gentlemen, you've been a great panel. I appreciate you coming on so much. Thank you guys for being a part of my Friday, my free for all Friday. As you guys know, it was free for all, right? We touched on football from the beginning. Third hour, we started talking about black issues. Boy, it was kind of free today. So, oh man, raise your hand if you knew about Jackson State before Prime got there. He's East Coast Cav with the super chat says he'll wait.
I ain't know.
Yo,
I ain't know about him before Prime got there. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a feeling about that because if it weren't for HBCU Talladega helping Deion get his degree, he wouldn't have had a chance to coach at Jackson State. So I
That's
just want to say HBCUs have been critical to Deion getting where he is now. So I think he owes a little bit to the HBCUs to try to give back if and when he can.
And he does. And I think he's doing a great job of keeping the HBCU name in the conversation. And I think HBCU's name will always be in the conversation as long as he's coaching at the PWI. And at this point, because they're winning so much with the name being out there, because when your name is out there, man, people, even kids that were not thinking about you before, they'll keep asking questions. They'll be like, Jackson State? What is this Jackson State? They'll Google it and it'll still being out there. So is it better? Is it good for people to say, for him to stay where he's at so that he, the name can keep getting put in the media, the national media, or should we just get him out of get him away from Colorado, and then don't say Jackson State at all no more? What's better? It's a little critical thinking.
Hey Harry, hey, last thing, man, I'm finna get out of here. Hey, what y'all think about that lineman over there at Jackson State saying he committed to Colorado, and then that coach coming on saying we ain't offer him nothing?
Hey, yo, that's funny, yo. That's crazy.
It's dudes that do that. It's dudes that do that every year, though, man. I know people in around my way that then said they got offers and they wasn't even starting. So it happens every day, man.
I thought it was something mental going on. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, yo, this stage is way too big for you to be trolling like that. And
hey, they say it's the second time doing it.
Yeah, this is the second time. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's the second time. So I'm like, what's the end goal here? Like, what are we trying to achieve? Because if he saw it the first time, he knew you from Jackson State, and he didn't really give you no offers, then you keep doing it. What is the end goal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the end goal here?
One day he's gonna be a buff, man. One day he's gonna be a buff.
Stop playing.
Be one of them dead bodies for Shador, man. You heard?
Oh shoot! Hey, you have to be a coach like Smoke.
Hey, we'll take him though. We'll take him just for the death, man. We'll definitely take him. If anything, we're playing behind Tyler Brown, which we're gonna really see if Tyler Brown is that dog this year, bringing in all them linemen this bigger than he is. So we're gonna really see if and he done had a year off, so his body should be in much better shape than a lot of these guys, man. So we're gonna really see where old TB at, man, with his mental state and everything.
Matter of fact, I think breaking news just hit.
What happened?
Amari Ward committed to buffing out Shador Sanders' Rolls Royce.
Wait, what? Is that trolling news or breaking news? What are you talking about? Amari Ward did what?
Committed to buffing out Shador Sanders' Rolls Royce.
Come on, stop playing.
That made him the detail guy.
Oh my gosh. So y'all, we're gonna end with this with Yardman. Yardman said, Harry, I'm on next week, bro. Taking vacation. Panel was cool. That's all. Still couldn't get a definite answer on dogs. They did the prime deflect thing. Portal so far is just quantity, not much quality. All right, so keep
Come
that
on,
energy.
Man. It's plenty of quality that came. Yeah, we gonna address that. Bring them up.
We're gonna address that on Monday. Y'all, man, make sure you get on the panel so that we can battle it out.
I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of commits over this weekend too.
Boy, listen, Monday show is gonna be wild because
a lot of commits.
Now we get the defense. Yeah, a lot of commits
Yep.
on the weekend, and then we're gonna talk about that on Monday. So it's about to be a fire. So hey,
it's
y'all,
gonna
man,
be a
we
good
expect
show.
you to come on.
I'm back
we
up.
expect you to come on and bring that that Jamaican energy. Let's go. Okay.
I'm back up.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great weekend, man.
Have a good weekend, man.
Weekend.
All right, man. Y'all stay up, man.
All right, take care, guys.
Everybody stay safe.
All right, you too. All right, family. So that is all the show I got for you today. It is 3:20 on the East Coast. We're supposed to end at 3 o'clock, but it's all good. That is all we got for you today. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there, now that's the Liberian perspective. Come back next week for more. All right? I'm Harry B. TLP Sports Club. Brah. That's the Liberian, perspective. Peace. Later.